Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. I can't say that we're back, but this is something here, dear to my heart, something I've been saying, or we've been saying we're going to do for a very long time. Me and Puertorock doing an actual show together. Just us, just whether it was a morning show, afternoon show, and we've been saying, we've been going to do this for a while. Unfortunately, he has about 5 jobs, and he's in the reserve. So what are you doing, Puertorock?
I'm active duty.
Who?
I'm active duty. No, active duty.
Oh, my bad. Black Ops. She's like, yeah, I'm playing Black Ops full time.
Black Ops 4 and shit. I play Black Ops full time.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, God willing, Emmanuel the Baptist every Sunday about 12 p.m. We're going to be doing here. Now, listen, we know we're a little late today. I had some technical difficulties, and we were just sitting back there, just chatting with each other. I got a new mic, and I still ain't got it set up right, so I got to go back into the lab. But as you guys are coming in, you guys will be so kind to hit the like button. Shotgun Man 6996, he's always here. DI Almighty Spartan God, just a name and a half there, brother. God damn. Christian, now listen, every week it's going to alternate. This week it's going to be on my channel. Next week it's going to be on his channel. We're going to go back and forth. You know what I mean? Christian McCoy, Randy Russell, what's up to you? I'm a man here. Marahaka. See what's going on. Looking real spooky on last night's stream. Looking real spooky.
What?
I was looking spooky? No, trust me. I was Nxtgen was trying to keep his composure. I'm trying to be nice, man. You don't leave the past in the play. I'm gonna let sleeping dogs lie. You know what I mean? Free smoke though. You know what I mean? Hell Spawn Re 6996 mass murderers. No, I'm not waiting for no.
What's going on, Hell Spawn?
No, listen, I wasn't waiting for anybody to get over it. I was just listen, and shout out to them. That's not taking a shot at them. What time did they start this show? Crapping them. Oh, you know?
What happened? I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't watch this shit.
Yeah, it wasn't about them. I don't even know they was on the. I thought they were actually on a little earlier.
Yeah.
But no, we were just sitting here talking. I was trying to get the mic together, then had to order the kids some food. Like this life, you know what I mean?
Not just that. Well, because remember, I'm in Germany, so I'm 6 hours ahead of East Coast time. So right now for me, it's 6. What is it? 6 something? It's it's almost 7 o'clock. Originally we tried to set it up for 6 p.m. for me, and 12 p.m. for for Nxtgen. I'll go to work tomorrow, but I don't want to make it too early for Nxtgen because he ain't gonna, his diabetic ass, getting up at 10 in the morning is not good for his health. So there's a balance. So that's all it is. But listen, I'm gonna let y'all know, even from the beginning, me and Nxtgen, we ain't doing shit based on what other people do. If you've been following Nxtgen for a long time, a lot of the shit Xbox community talks about, he said it first, and they called him crazy. When the talk of the X12 happened, that was Nxtgen who said that shit. When the talk of new console refreshes coming out, he said that shit. You know what I'm saying? When he was talking about fucking diabetic gaming, even before that became a term, he was talking about there's a problem with Microsoft because they're not having their publishers create more games. Everybody fucking looked at him, he's crazy. Now, after a year or whatever, it comes to fruition. On my end of the PlayStation side, I was the one telling motherfuckers, yo, I don't think there's going to be a Horizon or fucking, this shit on Xbox. There's not enough time. They looked at me as a fanboy, damage controlling for the Pro. I was the one saying, yo, I don't think the Pro is going to make a difference in this shit. In fact, I remember my E3, I couldn't tell the difference. People were saying, yo, that shit's the Pro. And I'm thinking, that shit looks like the shit I'm playing right now. And motherfuckers thought I was crazy. I was telling people, yo, fucking motherfuckers not going to shift the industry with this Xbox One X simply because of the better multipass. That's not going to happen. So I think in all, the combination of me and Nxtgen doing this podcast, us two, we're the leaders and innovators. We say the shit that people look at us, we're crazy, and then a year later, everybody catches up. And now they look like the ones, they're the purveyors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is bullshit, but I think now, with this specific podcast where it's just me and Nxtgen, we won't have, convolutions or anything, we'll be able to push out forward thinking ahead because I think, in my opinion, we're more forward thinkers in our community than most.
Yeah.
Because we talk about this shit today that motherfuckers will end up talking about tomorrow.
Hey, you know what's crazy, Puertorock? You know what? Because again, I just want to say, I know we're going to get into the show, but it's going to give you a good, dialogue and reports between us. And again, it's always been 100 between me and this guy. You know what I mean? and again, I support that. I say this. A lot of people get caught up in the characters, either Puertorock or the characters of Nxtgen, even the character of Alex. You know what I mean? Alex, the most dangerous pony in the world. You know what I mean? Outside, like, I've never had a problem with these dudes. Like, no matter what they prefer to play, you know what I mean? If he's into SM, I'm in the straight, you know, me missionary, sex and potatoes, nothing. He want to be tired of beating bit on this Puertorock thing. He still like with me personally. You know what I mean? I ain't got no problems with dude. You know what I mean? And a lot of times people get caught up and so basically invested in the console. Nothing wrong. It's fun for shits and giggles. Trust me, I don't care what Microsoft sells or Sony sells and who. Nah, and I mean, none. Don't get me like it's not that serious. It's never been that serious, like I said, between us. And we done had some conversations behind the scenes about different things. I'm not gonna be messy. I'm trying not to be too messy on this show. You know what I mean? Sometimes I can't help myself. You know, I shoot from the hip and let the chips fall where they may. Like last night was totally unscripted. You know what I mean? Like, trust me. If you don't go watch the last half hour of the show, you see what the hell I'm talking about. And there's a lot of things I could have said. Everybody showed their taste, but you know what I mean? I talked to Tim, and again, and I'm not even going to talk about it. Talk to Tim, you know what I mean? Because I'm just getting my channel back in good standings. I don't become cyberbullying and all that weird shit. I've been through a lot of weird shit when it came to this YouTube thing here. You know what I mean? And I didn't want any problem with the LBGT movement, and it's just a bunch. Trust me, it's just not as clean, cut and dry as just me just showing something. You know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. Shout out to him, dealer. I have any problems with him? Wish him nothing but the best in his future endeavors. Now, like I said, there's been conversations that me and you've had personally a year and a half ago. You know what I mean? Things that we just talked about. You know what I mean? And there's one thing I want to say this right here. You can never call me a hater because I don't like. That's not my thing. I like for people again to come on and do their thing. It was like me pulling teeth for this guy here to do a show. You know what I mean, bro? Make your channel, bro. Yeah. Make your channel.
That's true. ZZ used to tell me, I don't give a fuck if you use a Nokia phone. Do something.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So this never a point, oh, he just jealous because dealer, I don't give a fuck about that, bro. Like that's not my thing. So if you just say that I'm jealous of someone about that, you don't know the legend of Nxtgen. I think it's dope that someone comes up, you know what I mean? If you don't know me, that's not what you know what I mean?
I remember fucking when I started my videos, I would only have like 3 people watching it, and you would be one of the 3.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah, they're like, say this dog shit channel, but people, you know, Z supports, you know, you always support other people's projects and shit like that. Like, you have no reason for other people to fail. You don't really care about that. So it's funny. It's funny people try to throw shade at you when the truth is you probably put more people on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like Jay-Z, you know, he made more millionaires than Lotto.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Shout out to D-Dog, she that's in the comment section. And like sometimes we have guests, you know what I mean? And you know, bring different people on, depends on what's going on in the community. Skip Bayless, like I said, this is something a lot of you guys have been asking for a while. Yeah. And we just said the stars and everything aligned just right. Like so every Thursday every Sunday going forward at 12 o'clock. We're going to do this. We will be on time next week, I promise. I'll be there with my coffee, man, edit all. God damn it! I'll be there in full character. Trust me, I'm going to take this really seriously. You know what I mean? And again, we don't know what to come after this. You know what I mean? Might just do anything. This might turn into a cartoon show. We don't know. But anyway, we're going to have some fun doing this. Going fucking say as you guys come in, you be so kind. If you think I got a dog shit channel, hit the like button. If you love my channel, hit the like. If you think Puertorock is full of shit, you hit his hairline.
Motherfuckers taking it personal. Like, damn, bro. There's boundaries. There's boundaries.
Yeah, like, oh, you want to get personal? Oh, you want to get you get for real?
I always found that weird. Yo, I'll be honest. I always found that weird. Dudes paying attention to how other dudes look on this shit. I'm like, man, what the fuck you worrying about my hairline for? Like, fuck.
It's kind of spooky. But I say, like I said, you know, like I said, this is not, I guess not last minute, but we didn't get a chance to really hype it like we were going to do in the week. Like I said, some of you guys may not know we were doing this. Like I said, this is every week, every Sunday around 12 o'clock. We're going to have the show here for you. What's up, Eric? What's going on, baby? You know what I mean? So going forward, like I said, you come in, like I said, the like when we have a little fun today. There's a few topics that we're going to talk about. Puertorock, what do you want to talk about first? What do you want to tackle first? I mean,
I guess what you were talking about. I guess this possible chance of Call of Duty supporting free DLC.
Okay, before we get into that, I know the big controversy and something you were talking about. We kind of brought up yesterday on this. I did like a spur of the moment show again.
Yeah.
That Call of Duty is not going to have any traditional campaign story mode anymore.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Strictly multiplayer, battle royale mode. And I know you know how you watch single player games. And I didn't really. This is one thing I never thought about this. You see me talking about single player, and I know Phil got slammed for this. You know what I mean? Games as a service, but I didn't. Really, everything's about money, right? And not just that I care about Microsoft, Sony, or anybody's money. You know what I mean, but this is a business, and the campaign of a game, if it has story, is the most costs us the most, more or less. You know what I mean? The most expensive part of the game is the campaign. The multiplayer, he says, tagged on, not so much, but the multiplayer, I'm sorry, the campaign is the most expensive part of a game. And they released some stats, some figures that maybe less than 4% of the people actually play or even complete. And even the same thing with Grand Theft Auto. They released some stats a few years ago. You know what I mean? Now I've said this too. Like Grand Theft Auto used to be about the story. That has since far evolved way past that. You know what I mean? The story, and people go, I've never played Grand Theft Auto Online, but I'm gonna try, like I said, with Red Dead. That has evolved way past that. Now, you said something very interesting yesterday. You said that when you look at the numbers and people not actually playing it, you know what I mean? They're gonna complain or not. But you said it would be some shit if they come back and sell you the campaign for like $20. Like, how do you like talk to me? I didn't think about that. That was very interesting.
Yeah, so I mean, to understand why my thought track, industry is having an issue of trying to raise the price of games. I think we all know that. They're smart enough to know that the consumer is not really going to accept a world where games cost $80, right? Mm-hmm. So they've always been trying to find a way to how can we sell games for $80 or $90 without actually selling it at that price. You know what I mean? And that's where all this DLC, season pass, all these microtransactions, all this shit. They found a way to make gaming more expensive, yet they're still saying that games cost $60. Even though they're not, I mean, hell, fucking there are games where, for $60 you get this game, but if you pay $80, you'll get this mission, this mission, and this mission. Well, then the $80 is the complete game, because that's where all the missions are at. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so when I saw this shit about, not including single player, and I want to talk about the whole that, because I got some new information yesterday. A guy showed me a video where the guy broke down the trophy achievements, and it was pretty interesting. There's actually more people, percentage-wise, at least they showed Steam and PlayStation. They didn't show the Xbox version. But on Steam and PlayStation, there are more people who completed the campaign, percentage-wise, right, than people who achieve level 1 prestige on Call of Duty. And if everybody knows what level 1 prestige is, you keep playing the game until you reach a certain metric, then you prestige, and then you do it all over again. And usually you do it up to 10 times. There's more people who beat the campaign than even did that. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. So that's a separate thing. But back to what you're talking about. What if this is more than just Activision not supporting single player games because, it's all about the multiplayer? What if what they're actually trying to do is remove the single player campaign and then sell it to you separately for $25? And trying to convince this is the way to go. We'll sell you the multiplayer for $60, and if you really want to play the single player, here you go for $15.
But you know what?
When it should have been included from the get-go.
Here's the thing. Now, listen, I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna take this as the glass being half empty, right? Yeah. I don't have a problem with that. Hear me out before you start throwing shit at my channel, right? But the multiplayer shouldn't be $60. If you're gonna do 30 and 30, fine. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I agree. If you're gonna split the game then. Yeah. Let people buy what they want. $30 for the single player, $30 for the multiplayer. If you want both, here's a $60 special edition bundle that has both, or even a $50, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I see where you're going.
Or the game. Or here's the thing: if you're still gonna be coy and make a little extra money, put the multiplayer at $40 and then $20. I'm just saying. I'm just being.
Yeah, I agree.
This is a business. Now it shouldn't be $60. You know what I mean? Ain't but so much you can do. I say you add in a battle royale mode. This is what I'm saying. They're gouging, because if you're gonna say that the single player takes the most money to make and produce, and the multiplayer is not so much, right? Fine. So we're getting that anyway. So the multiplayer by itself should not just be $60. You understand that? So if you're gonna, to be fair, fine. the Call of Duty, because again, this is ingenious. If they were to come out every year, Call of Duty, because Call of Duty is duty, and just put the multiplayer at $40 or whatever, it's already going to sell.
Yeah.
But people such as myself, you know what I mean? I don't really play. I don't like duty, and one of the reasons I don't like duty at the time when I was achievement hunting, they never gave no really achievements for prestige, and I don't know, but I haven't played it in a while. You got all the achievements from the campaign, you know what I mean? So, and again, people get Call of Duty to go online. But if they want to do that, maybe $30, $40, you know what I mean? And then if if they still want to do the campaign, hey, here's the campaign DLC, $30. You know what I mean? When we don't see, you know what I mean? I don't have an issue with that. You know what I mean? So you're still making an extra $10 on the low, right? Hear me out. Check this out, right? So you got that aspect. We have Fortnite out there. We got Fortnite. We got PUBG. Eventually, I don't know. Eventually, maybe PUBG may go free by the time it comes to the PS4, which is going to make their numbers. You've seen what happened with Fortnite. Like Fortnite been out for a while. All day shooting to buy that shit for $30 before they had the Battle Royale mode.
Yeah.
Do you think that Call of Duty can compete in the Fortnite space? Or no, still, even though like Duty has the name Duty, do you think he can? Because right now Fortnite is like a phenomenon. I see it on the news. My grandmother was talking about Fortnite, and people in the church and some other, literally, you know what I mean? Like, oh, my grandson plays Fortnite all day. Do you think that Call of Duty will be able to? Because that game like Fortnite is going to make its money in the long run through, transactions, shit, the costume skins, this, that thing, Infinity War. They're going to continue to make money. Do you think that Call of Duty can find these strides like that? Or maybe even, you know what I mean?
Good question. Because here's the thing, and I know
that's
my
franchise.
Yeah,
Fortnite's a $1 billion franchise. Duty's a $1 billion franchise. You know what I mean?
So Louis P, he's right there advocating that the price for COD at $60 just for the multiplayer. What they're doing now is nothing wrong because PUBG is $30. Well, look at Fortnite. Fortnite's free. Look at Warframe. Warframe is free. So we already have examples of free multiplayer that is huge. Millions of people are playing it. You know what I'm saying? And they have to manage servers no different than Call of Duty. Like Fortnite servers, because of that Battle Royale mode, is fucking huge. It's the biggest game out there. It's usually the #1 most streamed game. You know what I'm saying? And they're giving it away for free. Where the real money these games come from is all the microtransactions and packs and all that shit. Let's be honest. Call of Duty's money is not going to come from the actual $60 of the game. It's going to come what happens after the game is already sold. The microtransactions, the packs, the crates, all that shit. That's where the real money is at. You know what I'm saying? So what Z's saying, selling the game for $40, if anything, that's going to attract even more people to play the game. You know what I'm saying? Because you're starting out with $40. If they decide to go with free DLC, you know what I'm saying? That keeps the community together, because as every DLC comes out, less and less people buy the follow-on DLCs. So the community gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and then a new Call of Duty comes out and they start all over. If you keep the DLC consistent for everybody, then everybody will continue to support the microtransactions and all that other crazy shit, because that's where the real money coming from, right? Do I think Call of Duty will be able to take down Fortnite? I don't think so. Only reason is, again, in order to even begin to play Call of Duty, you have to pay $60. Fortnite is absolutely free. You know what I'm saying? And it's everywhere. I think it's even on phones now, right? It's on phones. It's on the Nintendo Switch. It's on every fucking thing, And you could play your account across all devices. So like if you play Fortnite on PS4, you could continue on your tablet or fucking on the PC, whatever, and it's all free. The amount of money you put in the game is based on what you want to do, but you're not forced to pay for anything, and Call of Duty doesn't have that. You're going to have an entry level fee to pay. And then on top of that, you obviously have to have PSN Plus or Xbox Live Gold. If you're on PC, you play Call of Duty for free, other than the purchase. But if you're on consoles, you have your reoccurring annual Xbox Live PlayStation subscription. Fortnite doesn't even have that, at least on PlayStation. On PC, Fortnite's free. On tablets, it's free. Even on PlayStation, it's free. So you get to play this game. What will Call of Duty do? You hear me? Yeah. So the key is, what will Call of Duty do as a Battle Royale game that Fortnite is not doing that's going to make people drop $60? Because Fortnite is absolutely free. And everybody's having fun with it. So what is Call of Duty going to do that says, hey, don't play Fortnite, play Call of Duty because we're doing this. Oh, by the way, you got to drop $60. And if they charge for DLC, all follow-on content, you also have to pay for that too. what's going to make people pay the extra money to override for it. And I'm not saying Call of Duty is not going to be successful. It's going to be successful as a motherfucker. Call of Duty always is. The question that Zaire is bringing up, the question we're asking is, what's it going to do to topple Fortnite? That's the question. There's a difference between Call of Duty getting its own success and taking over the crown as a BR game for Fortnite. I don't think it's going to do it because Fortnite's absolutely free and they're always updating the shit for free. You know, that's going to be the thing. My opinion, I don't think it's going to topple Fortnite. Do I think it's going to be successful in its own right? Yeah. Do I think people saying, oh, I'm not going to buy it and people think it's going to fail? I don't think so. I think Call of Duty is going to fucking succeed in its own right. It's going to sell a lot. It's going to be #1 at MPD. It's going to be one of the top games sold in 2018. You know how it is. It's the same recyclic effort. Year after year, Call of Duty is always the best-selling game for that year. And it's always the top seller in November. People recognize it. That's why nobody wants to fucking release games in October, November because of Call of Duty. Because they know everybody wants to buy that. So nobody wants to put their game one-on-one against Call of Duty. You know, that's just the way of life.
Also, too, I don't know if you've seen these official scheduling from E3 leaks. Have you seen them?
I seen a couple of them. Man, I saw like 4 leaks and shit. Which one you want to talk about?
No, I'm just saying. Actually, I'm sending you the stuff now. So you can just talk. I'm just saying the it's EA's, Microsoft's, and Sony presentations. So I don't Nintendo. I don't know what the hell they got, but it's a whole bunch. I'm just sending you. I'm just pasting them in. Let's look at that. Okay. In your inbox. I'm trying to get them. All right, got it. Actually, you know what? Let me do it like this because you're
gonna put it on Google.
I share my. I was putting them in your inbox on Twitter, but hold up, they're in my broadband bullies thing. Hold up,
share the screen, and then the audience could follow along.
Yeah. Let me scroll to the top. All right, let me go here. I'll start from right here. All right, let me go. Mr. Share my screen. Just look at the chat, and we may ask any questions in the chat. I can't see. I'm not gonna be able to see the chat.
And speaking, and since before we move on to the topic, while you're setting it up, here's another question. And this is a good topic I thought about. So, Call of Duty's coming out with a BR mode, and it comes out this October, right? Supposedly rumors that Battlefield might try to do the same thing, right? And Red Dead Redemption. So you got 3 of the biggest games all come around the same time window, right? Now, you and I both know, no fanboy shit, that PUBG will eventually come to PlayStation. It's not an Xbox exclusive. We all know that. But here's the thing. Did they fuck up waiting too long to release it? Because by the time PUBG comes out, people already all over Call of Duty, Battlefield.
To be fair, you know what's going to happen? By the time it comes to the place, it's going to most likely be free, like Fortnite or whatever. You know what I mean? The game is still buggy as hell, and I'm not mistaken. Something they don't do the preview program stuff. Like the game is still fundamentally broken in a lot of places. It's gotten better, but it's still buggy as hell. And when again, and we can say tomato, what propelled Fortnite to the forefront? Hey, it's free, right? They added a better Royale mode, but it was Sony fans away. Let's see, we must see stuff on the council board. Jabari, shout out to Jabari. Fortnite owns PUBG. You know what I mean? You got the big, because again, PlayStation community is huge right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's the dominating market, and they were all on PUBG because they didn't have. So they were all on Fortnite. What do you do? They didn't have Fortnite. I'm sorry, they didn't have PUBG on the PlayStation, so they all ran to, well, we got our own battle. You know what I mean? We got our own Fortnite. You know what I mean? So I think it's still gonna do well. You know what I mean? Okay. Will it follow the steps of what died out? H1Z1? No. Because that's what H1Z1 is, the grandfather, the father, the spirit coming to all the PUBGs, the Fortnite. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's and I think, and to be fair, I think that should have made its way to consoles sooner. Yeah. But smaller studios. I'm not mistaken. Is it on the PlayStation now? H1Z1?
Yeah, H1Z1's on the PlayStation.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I think I probably that might be an announcement from Sony, or probably this holiday season, PUBG will be on. You know what I mean? On the PlayStation, and then again, you're gonna have 80 million. How many people play online with the PlayStation? A chance to actually play the game without most likely without having to have PS Plus. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's gonna be huge for them too.
Yeah, I just don't think it's gonna have the same impact as when PUBG came out on Xbox. Only because
it was new. It was new.
Yeah, it was new, and there was no really much competition. Hey, now, by the time PUBG comes on PlayStation 4, you got Call of Duty. You might have Battlefield. You have Red Dead, fucking.
You know what?
You have all these other shit. Now it's just another. You know, like I ain't gonna say the originator, but the one that really put BR on the map. Because remember, PUBG was out before Battle Royale. Of course, we have H1Z1 that you said is the grandfather, but PUBG was the one that made it fucking. It was the 10, 12, 15 million selling phenom. You know what I'm saying? It didn't do it first, but it did it the biggest. You know.
You know what though, and also like I said, look at it like this, right? Where let me be honest here, where PUBG or Bluehole Studios, where they dropped the ball, we kind of mentioned yesterday. Remember? Oh, I remember. Like they were saying that they already have the Xbox One version up X up to 45 frames in 2 weeks. That whole 60 frame to 30 frame thing.
Yeah.
And again, just being real, you know what I mean? We talk about a selling point for your X. They dropped the ball with that because right now you got Fortnite again that's 60 frames on base OG Xboxes that came out in 2013. They dropped the ball with that. You know what I mean? The way now you can tell me I got the world's most powerful console, beefier CPU, 12 gigs of RAM, that I'm going to have the same frame rate again as 2013 hardware. And it goes back, just they call me the fanboy, the toxic guy, but you know what I mean? There's, how you say, not to see this power in what words you're saying. I remember, here, shout out to Xbox, that's my man, but I'm just not to throw him under the bus. I'm just using him. He was the one. He doesn't want different frame rates. You know what I mean, between the X and that this is not fair to gamers. Like that shit right there to me is kind of spooky. You know what I mean? Look at your Roku remote. That right there in itself is kind of spooky. So again, if I'm paying for a fun out for a premium console, you know what I mean? And no, that's not really it. You're not into that Puertorock, but listen, I'm a raised shallow man. I would take beauty before brains. I'm as loyal as my last meal. You know what I mean? My wife come here and loses her job today, baby. You know what? This ain't working. I got a bitch in Oklahoma that's gonna take care of my black ass. I'm shallow like that. Listen, I'm flaky like that. It is what it is, right? But I say that to say this, right? I should say that right there. I think if they came out and they say been 60 frames, you know what I mean? This is one thing, not to be frame stuff. They really, dropped the ball with that one right there. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? That would have been a huge selling point for the X. And then again, a huge selling point for PUBG, you know what I mean? Because you got a lot of PC guys. I know a few of them, you know what I mean? And that they're in several Xbox community that love PUBG, but didn't like to deal with the cheaters that were running around on the PC version. Went out and got the X because again, they were talking about 60 frames. You know what I mean? It may not be a big deal to some of those console guys, but there is a large demographic of guys that just game on PC that was looking to get the X for superior frame rates. They want to deal with the bullshit. You know what I mean? They sometimes comes along with PC gaming. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? But we shall see. Like I said, I predict probably most likely around this holiday season coming up that what do you call it? PUBG will be on the PS4. And again, you got a potential to see at least 30 new customers and that's never played it or dying to play it and all over again. Then you're gonna listen. Then you're gonna have Digital Foundry running. Which console it runs the best on? That's gonna breed. You know how that shit go, bro. Yeah. All over again. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? Now, could you see the list here?
Yeah, I see it.
Let me make this a little bigger. All right. This is again rumors. We can take it with a grain of salt. E3 2018. It's Electronic Arts Expo. Electronic Entertainment Expo.
You only do not share that shit all over the internet.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Now this may be real. I don't know. It looks a little official, but anyways, Electronic Arts Saturday, June 9th. They getting this shit sort of June 9th. Battlefield 1945 cinematic trailer. Now listen, I don't know the history. I don't know what people call bullshit, but I heard a rumor that EA was stepping away from what's the Star Wars game? Star Wars.
Battlefront 2?
Yeah. Just to step away from the Battlefront series. You know what I mean? They had the backlash with what do you call it?
Yeah, with the microtransactions and shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
New crates.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I don't know, but this they were doing a one-player story-driven game. Also, they got canceled mid-fray. So this is what the Star Wars Bounty Hunters may be. Do you remember Star Wars? Star Wars? What's this shit? They showed 12 or this shit?
Star Wars 1313.
Oh my God, that looked like that was the Star Wars was getting dirt and gritty. You know what I mean? That looked nice, you know what I mean? But
you know, and that's the thing, you know, Battlefront is a huge game. We love it. But let's be honest, when we think of Star Wars, you know, a good portion of it is the story and lore of Star Wars. We want to be part of the story of, you know, Jedi's versus the Sith and how everything goes. You know, it's the story. It's not just simply capture the flag and kill motherfuckers. It's being part of that universe. You know, people want to take what we see in the movies and put it in a game and be part of it, of that universe, you know. And people love single player Star Wars. So why they canceled that 1313 shit is fucking beyond me, because that shit would have been huge. And you had Amy Hennig that was leading the project. You know, she was one of the creators of Uncharted.
Well,
I have no doubt that she has the ability to make a fucking great single player.
The 1313 came from LucasArts.
Yeah.
When Disney bought them, that's when that got canceled. They was working on a separate game, their Risku, that were heading, or whatever the case. And basically, it was a money pit. And I had saw when I think they showed. Well, I don't know. Was it E3 not last year? It might have been 2016, or it might have been E3 2017. I don't know. But I seen a little trailer for it. You know what I mean? Little, you know, sometimes I know some people that know some people. And what I saw looked promising, very, very pretty. Very pretty. I said, God, this can't be, even then I said, this can't be on regular console. Like, this shit was pretty as hell, you know what I mean? But that game right there got canceled. There was a few games that they were supposed to be working on. So maybe Star Wars Bounty is a single player game. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe it's still this is spiritual successor to Battlefront. Like I said, rumor had that they were moving away from the Battlefront thing. You know what I mean? I heard that Disney wasn't too happy with the way that Star Wars Battlefront 2 was handled. You know what I mean? You know,
yeah.
They initially said, you know, that all the DLC would be free, but it was more like a pay to win thing. Hey, you know, listen, I know. Hey, I'm saying this. I normally don't complain. Like, you know what I mean? I'm easy going. He's an easy peasy podcast.
Yeah.
I normally don't complain. I'm like, I really don't get my panties and my boxes in a bunch of crunch with too many things. I mean, but when I did hop online with me, but with my failing health and my reaction time with that of a snail, people flying all over. The game been out for 2 days. You know what I mean? Jumping in. I'm like, oh God, I can't kill this guy. That was, you know what I mean? That was very, very frustrating to me. I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? I'm like, you know, like, God, the game just came out. You done spent about 200 hours on your character. You running through shit, just blowing shit down. Like, that really bothered me. Like, damn.
Yeah, the truth is, and here's the funny part. It's not like they don't have that they're not intelligent enough to create a balance. You know, all they had to do was just split the modes. Have a modes where all the pay to win guys could be in these modes, and then have those same exact modes, but specifically for the hardcore who can't use you know, packs and all that. You know, you have to progress naturally. You know, just split the modes to where, you know, these are the modes and these are the game modes you could play. And yes, you can buy packs and perks and all this shit. But for those of you who are hardcore and you want, you know, straight up, you know, skill-based gaming, competitive gaming, these are the modes where you're locked out of those packs. You can't purchase nothing. Everything you do has to be earned and skill-based, you know? And that's just how it is. And it would have been fine. Everybody would have been happy. Those that want, you know, that don't have the time to dedicate 10, 12 hours a day to build the skill up, and they just want to pay $50 just so they could fucking have Boba Fett run around, flying around invincible. Sure, here you go. You people enjoy that. For everybody else that do have the time where this is the only game they're going to play and they're going to spend 4 or 5 hours a day dedicating their skills and they want to compete, here you go. These are the modes for you guys. And, you know, and it's accessible to everybody. You play how you want and everybody's happy. How they didn't think that through or even thought about that is beyond me, bro. How they fucked that up is crazy. Because that's how it was back in the days. Back in the days, I remember you had your normal modes, and then you had modes that were hardcore, where like there's friendly fire, so you could kill your own players. You throw a grenade in a room, and everybody dies. There was some, you know what I'm talking about? Those are the people who, you know, and people enjoyed those modes because they wanted the most realistic, you know, simulation possible, to where you just can't spray and pray and you can't shoot a rocket launcher in a room, because if you do, you're gonna kill your own teammates too. You know, it made everybody happy. You had the hardcore for the hardcore. You had the casuals enjoy the casual modes. Everybody enjoyed the game.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I like to say EA is voted sometimes the most evilest company in the world. Money is money, right? They all do the Activision, but yeah, that right there, like I said, I don't really complain about much. That right there really grinded my gears. I ain't playing this. It really turned me off. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't playing this shit. You know what I mean? That really turned me off. But like I said, but I don't know. Like I said, if this is true, it does look kind of official. But people sometimes have got more time than Zeus himself. The things that they come up and create. But you know what I mean. I think some of the things may just be, like I said, educated guess. But like we are just about rumors, so we're just going to talk about it here. And there's some other things we're going to talk about here. Madden 2019, no brainer. Dragon Age Rise September. Are you into the Dragon Age?
Yeah, hell yeah. If that's true, I'm looking forward to that shit.
Now here's the thing. Never really got into the Dragon Age thing. Kind of slow. Is it co-op? If it's co-op, I get into it.
No. Oh no. Well, they have an online multiplayer mode which is separate from the game. But I haven't played a co-op story mode.
I think this game right here screams a co-op story mode. You know what I mean? I think that would be dope. You know what I mean? And then I can actually progress through the game with my friends.
I wouldn't be against that. I mean, I don't think it would hurt the game.
You're not in the game by yourself. You got other people with you, right? You got a team with you. Yeah. So I wonder how hard is that to do? Even in a game like Mass Effect, you got a squad with you that screams online co-op, the actual progression through the story. I agree.
I don't
know how hard that would be.
I agree. The only thing is just how to balance the game with progression, because we don't want another State of Decay 2 type scenario where the hosts only progress, but then everybody else who participates, you don't really get anything out of it.
Look at what do with Gears.
Yeah.
Prime example. Yeah. I can play. I may not play that chapter, but I can play a chapter with you. But now it's unlocked for me because I completed it. It's gonna go back in the other ones. It's not reinventing the wheel. So you know what I mean. I don't see what's so hard about that. You know what I mean. But it says Dragon Age Rise of the T-Man. The first one, last one came out in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. Dragon Age 3.
Yeah, the Inquisition, yeah.
Yeah, Dragon Age 3. Okay. It's a no-brainer. You got Anthem, another Anthem cinematic trailer.
With my man Snoop Dogg and Zac Efron.
Who the hell is Zac Efron?
Zac Efron is, fuck, I gotta think of a movie. Fuck. He was on Baywatch with The Rock.
Okay.
His sidekick.
No, sidekick. All right. Yeah, like I said, Anthem looks dope.
Yeah.
Anthem looks ill. You know what I mean? I'm being honest, I hope it's good because what's the last Mass Effect this came out?
The last Mass Effect? It was Andromeda.
Okay, that trailer looked ill. Game wasn't that fun. You know what I mean?
I haven't played it yet. I got it. I haven't played it yet. But I heard,
it wasn't that to me. It wasn't that fun.
Super chat, gotta pay that money. To Demon, $5 euro, or not $5, but €5. Z, here's €5 towards the Gamer Lives Matter Fund. We are all gamers here.
All right, appreciate it, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's two insulin shots. You just served them.
Shout out to you, good brother. Appreciate
it. Shout out, man. Thanks for the support.
Rocking out with this brand new show. Listen, tell you what's a little.
Yo, this shit's gonna be bigly.
Yes.
Motherfuckers gonna be hurt
on many sides.
This is the Skip Bayless. What's that other dude?
Shannon Sharp.
The Shannon Sharp show for the gaming community. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah,
we're gonna be undisputed of gaming right here.
You know what I mean?
This is the true undisputed right here.
You know what I mean? And you guys are taking part in here. This is the first show, episode 1. You know what I mean? Things only gonna get better with time. It's like a fine wine here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I said,
we're gonna be balling on that yak.
On that yak. On that yak. But like I said, you know what I mean? Anthem, I'm interested in. Looks dope. You know what I mean? Here you go. How many other Anthem looks dope. Can't wait to play it. I don't know much about the story, but like I said, you know, they trailer the show. If I'm not mistaken, the team that normally does the Mass Effect is now this one is handling the Anthem. You know what I mean? Looks dope. I think it's slated to come out next year around spring. Got pushed back a year. Battlefield 1945. Now, are you more of a duty player or more of a Battlefield player?
I'm more of a duty player.
You put the
Battlefield is dope. The only thing, not that I have issues. I don't want to say that's the wrong word, but Call of Duty's quick. You go in and you go out. Battlefield, you got to invest, which is fine. You know, it's fine for what it is. You hear me?
Huh? The food's coming today.
But your baby girl wants some food, man.
Yeah, the food's coming.
Yeah. The only thing I'm not saying it's an issue. It is because the game is designed by design. But sometimes, you know, I remember I played Battlefield, right? And by the time I realized that one match was like 40 minutes. And I was like, oh shit. This is, you know, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all. And I'm not saying don't change it. Leave it how it is. Battlefield is Battlefield. Call of Duty is Call of Duty.
You know what? Unique. Hey, but you know what? To be fair, though, I think for Battlefield to grow, maybe. You know, both IPs are hugely successful. And then you're gonna have the Call of Duty fans on one side. Each is like Xbox and PlayStation. Most Battlefield fanboys hate Duty. Most Duty fanboys hate Battlefield, right? Yeah. But if they want to appeal to a bigger demographic, they're gonna have to casual it down more. Like, you know, find a unique way to and still have, you know, the skill. You know what I mean? I just, you know, I don't know. I like the chaos in Battlefield.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the opposite opinion on that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Perfect example was Killzone 2, right? Killzone 2 was arguably the most successful Killzone within is own franchise. Lots of people were playing it. I mean, it literally went from dog shit to actually a fucking good multiplayer. You know, it was completely different from everybody else. The characters were slower. You couldn't go out and kill 10 people on your own. That shit was impossible. You know what I'm saying? You needed a squad. You guys had to focus on attacking people. Like it was like really being in the military. You worked. I didn't say really being in the military in terms of threat. In terms of gameplay, everybody had to team up and attack people to kill them. You know.
Yeah, so as far as
Call of Duty, it needs to be faster. It needs to be more responsive. Yada yada yada. When Guerrilla finally listened to those people to make Killzone 3 more like Call of Duty, they lost everybody. They didn't gain more people. They actually lost people because in the end, it became like Call of Duty. But then people asked, well, if this is like Call of Duty, why do I need to play this when I could just play Call of Duty? Yeah. I think Battlefield will go through the same symptom. It needs to be different. It needs to be, Battlefield's a successful franchise. It may not be as successful as Call of Duty, but in its own right, it's a very big game. It sells 8-9 million. It needs to maintain that. Don't be Call of Duty. We have Call of Duty. If motherfuckers want to play Call of Duty, then play Call of Duty. That's what it's there for. If you want to play Battlefield, it's Battlefield. Stick to your guns. Don't be something that someone else is doing because you're endangering yourself from losing your identity.
No, I'm not saying this thing. I wasn't saying it make it like duty.
Yeah.
But what you just said, 45 minutes in one match. Sometimes you want to play a quick match, you get them to go to work. You know what I mean? If they can find a medium, you know what I mean, that's more accessible, I say, to the casual. So you can be still maybe true to your roots or maybe even different modes or something. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying make Call of Duty like Battlefield because I prefer Battlefield over Duty. Yeah. But one of the things you were just saying, and sometimes the maps are just so huge. Like sometimes you might spawn on another and on F, and you got to walk way across the A. You're like, oh my God, Jesus Christ! You know what I mean? I think that's if one of the gripes that I have with Battlefield is that even with it being chaotic, sometimes listen, if you're not used to playing Battlefield, because everyone played it online, it's a lot going on. But once you get your sea legs up under you and you adjust what's going on, you're cool. Yeah. But like sometimes you might spawn in A and you got to get the Z. And,
it's a trial and tribulation playing that fucking game. I remember I got spawned somewhere. Yo, I had to fucking get an airplane to fly. It's fucked up. But I think that's what makes Battlefield unique, and I think that's what makes it successful. For guys like us, you know, we got Call of Duty. You know, if we want that quick, you know, we'll play Call of Duty. If we want a nice in-depth campaign, we'll play Battlefield. And I think it should just stay that way. Let the two games be separate. And if you want a particular mode or particular style of play, then go to the game that gives it to you. I just think if Battlefield started changing its ways, it might endanger the franchise than actually help it. I think more people, because in the end, I think the casuals that love that quick gameplay, they're not leaving Call of Duty because they have no reason to. Call of Duty will always be their go-to game. Even if Battlefield did appease to them, I don't think they're going to hop onto Battlefield. They're just going to find another reason to not like the game. They're going to say, oh, I don't like the Uzi because the Uzi doesn't kill people a mile away. You know, they're going to come up with some shit. If you like Call of Duty, play Call of Duty. If you like Battlefield, play Battlefield. It's two distinct games. It caters to the demographic that it's supposed to cater. And then both games are successful in its own right.
All right. That's it for EA showing. And I'm gonna say this too before the review.
What do you think with Anthem? I want to ask you something with Anthem.
Okay.
So Anthem, there's rumors that Xbox might have the marketing rights for Anthem. You know, because they showed it on E3 stage. Do you think Microsoft should fight to do more than just say, hey, we're going to show the Anthem commercial on Twitter or whatever, that they need to actually push for exclusive content, like the way Sony does with that?
Yeah. If they're going to do it, then do it. You know what I mean? That's the only way to do it. I don't know if guys know what they're willing to spend, budget solve, but yeah, if you're going to do it, and especially, again, if you have to take success and then you see what's the best, and you got people then, you know, like even with Duty. Yeah, and Microsoft probably didn't wasn't, how you say, too forward thinking, because you know, I mean, I guess people that are diehard Duty. I'll give you an example, right? People here on YouTube, you have channels that are dedicated to Call of Duty, right? That may have just played it on the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One, but now guess what? Those maps packs, Sony get them first, right? Or whatever the case. However they do structure. So they structure their whole channel and play, because again, it's about a business. To be fair. So now they're playing on the PlayStation. And I don't think, and again, I think Microsoft didn't take that, and you know, I mean, it's not just to me. It's not that big of a deal for me. You know, I barely buy DLC. That doesn't, you know, what I mean, unless it's probably like something like, again, I really like Gears. I really don't like Duty like that, so it's not a big deal to me. You know what I mean? But Duty is a phenom. You know what I mean? It's the behemoth. You know what I mean? So again, if they're going to do that, the deal, and more just marketing rights and showing a commercial running on the X, no, you need to go ahead and lock things down. And you know, I mean, I don't know, like, bro, listen, I could spend here all day talking about what the hell went wrong with Microsoft. I don't know, like, listen, trouble. Yo. I don't know what's going on, because we can probably close the show off, and then we're gonna talk about X. Last thing we can talk about is Inside Xbox. And we've seen the show, but that in itself is a can of worms, man. I don't know, man.
So another super chat, all or nothing, $10 super chat, man. Thank you for the support. My man said, glad to see you back, Z.
Oh, it's my bro, Ian. What's good, man? All or nothing. What's going on, good brother? Yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Man, appreciate it, man.
Very much. I appreciate my man, Ian. We are here now. We on to Microsoft rumored their listing leak. Microsoft Sunday, June 10th. They're gonna come up with an Xbox One X respective trailer. As they should. Gears of War 5 reveal trailer, multiplayer demo. Again, a huge Gears of War fan. So let's talk
about the One X retro. What the fuck does that mean? Like, what are they going to talk about? What they're going to talk about?
Maybe
how the world's most powerful. You think they're going to show Sea of Thieves?
Yeah, they want to show Sea of Thieves. I'll probably. They probably. I mean, I guess how many milestones, maybe how many achievements was unlocked. But listen, to be fair, I guess it is selling well for them, selling more than the Pro. So
yo, picture this on stage. They're gonna talk about the world's most powerful console, how they bring true 4K and 4K assets. I guarantee they're not gonna show Sea of Thieves as one of those examples.
I bet you they do. Hey, fuck, nigga, I bet you they do. Hey, how you say, like Trump? They're going to double down on this shit.
The world's most powerful console.
Listen.
If they do show the trailer, they're only going to show the water. They are not going to show the characters.
Hey, bro, I was having a moment. What now? The world's most powerful. God damn it. Hey, I was having a moment, man.
I don't know what they're going to talk about, bro. It's not the #1 selling system. It didn't win MPDs.
Well, I guess they're going to talk about it compared to they're probably going to line it up with the Pro. It's the #1 selling mid-gen console. Maybe they might do.
No, but here's the thing: can they actually say that? Because here's my thing. I think it's doing successful. I think it's selling more than the Pro in America. I think even though there's no data, it's just a feeling. Because like I always said, Pro is a premium product. The Xbox One X is a premium product. So when you're comparing premium products, price is not the concern for those two specific items. One is 400, one is 500, because worrying about the price of those two consoles would be like worrying about the price between a BMW and a Mercedes. No one's choosing a Beamer over a Mercedes or Mercedes over Beamer, of which is the cheaper one. At that point, when you're looking into those products, price is not the issue, you know? So I know in America, people who go into a store, they're actually looking for premium capabilities, right? But around the world, though, there's people who don't fuck with Xbox no matter what the fuck it does. They don't give a fuck that shit has 19 T-flops. They're not buying it. Shit, they don't even sell in the stores. So on a global scale, will Microsoft actually say, hey, we're the #1 selling premium console in America? Or will they say they're the #1 premium selling console in the world? Because that's going to be interesting. Because if they come out in a retrospect trailer and say, hey, we're the #1 selling premium console in America.
North America.
In North America, people are gonna, because when Microsoft says shady, secretive shit, when they say secretive language, people dissect that shit. People are gonna be like, "How come you're only saying North America? How come you didn't say in the world?"
I mean, it's no secret by now. The third generation Microsoft.
In my opinion, they shouldn't say that because
they sell the best in North America. They do pretty well. They might come out saying North and South America because they have a big footing in Brazil and shit like that too. they're pretty popular down here. So they might come out and give you North and South America. You know what I mean?
But don't you think they set themselves up saying that?
No, here's the thing though. At the end of the day, I guess if they have to thump and beat their chest about something, so that they like the console's not. And listen, I don't think the console is a failure by any means. I like the console. You know what I mean, for what it is, what it is. I thought that it was going to maybe change the dynamics of what, or maybe they was going to. Here's the thing: they put out the box and then get behind the box. Nothing to take advantage of the box. I understand. I'm on one game out there killing kid chickens. The next game about there fucking killing gods. You know what I mean? It's a really, but now I guess when I say hindsight is 2020, it's about the games. And listen, be fair. Like I've always said, and I say that's why I get angry or frustrated with some of the Xbox guys. Because some of them I love them like children that I see every day. But, you know what I mean? Even like the craps and the Xbox. Well, I'm more of a multiplayer guy, right? Where's Sony's? This is what they were saying a few weeks ago. Where's Sony multiplayer games that are AAA or this, that, and the other? Now, listen, this is all subjective. You see tomato, I see tomato. Maybe you may not like the Uncharted. Maybe you may not like the last. Maybe you may not like Gran Turismo Sport. Fine. You might see those trash. Maybe you may not like MLB The Show, but they do have some, okay? Yeah. This is the fact that, how fine. You're going to say that this is Sony's, how you say, they're what they do best as far as, what do they do? Story-driven games. Our multiplayer games have not been good. Yeah. If this is what you want to hang your hat on, you understand what I'm saying? If Microsoft's the king of multiplayer games and this, that, and the other, our games have not been good. Sea of Thieves has not been good. State of Decay is not, it's not the answer, Sway. So how you say, when it gets a little spooky, because we can listen, Puertorock, I'm a realist. And again, I think people get caught up in the character, not theatrics. But I'm going to give you what's real. How you say, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. We're going to get the biggest knife until we can cut the bullshit out, right? You can't go out that motherfucker and defending, again, games like Sea of Thieves. You understand what I'm saying? Well, this is all against subjective. They said to me, well, next gen, that's Nitro type of game. Fine, I understand it. I'll give you another example. Bloodborne is not my type of game. I've never played it. I really have any interest to play it. But I see, you know what I mean? The quality of the game, and it's huge and stuff for their fan base. You know what I mean? I don't know if these guys are stuck in character, or they're willing to get out of character, or they just really believe the shit they sell. You know what I mean? Like, there's a big disconnect. Sea of Thieves, God of War. I understand they're two different games, but just the overall quality of the game. You understand? Does that make sense? I understand that they're two different type of games. You know what I mean? But the quality, you know what I mean? You know, he said Pepsi is a brand. I stand by that brand. It's the quality of the game. It's not the same. You know what I mean? So he was one in straight diabetic gaming, and the other was, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it is.
Cracking is lacking.
Yeah, the crack. They said you get a person with that motherfucker threatening to render me unconscious behind that one. You know
Yo, Garuda Legends, $2 super chat. My man says MPD is worldwide. All right, so let me clarify on that one. Thanks for the $2 super chat. Thanks for the support. MPD does do worldwide metrics, all right? But they only release every month North America numbers. They don't release worldwide numbers. You understand what I'm saying? Can you get worldwide numbers from MPD? Yes, they do track sales across the globe, because they're a big network, but you have to pay like $50,000, $100,000 for that information. So most of the people who get that information, they're not going to release it or leak it because they paid a stack, a huge stack on that. They're not going to give away shit for free. Yeah. But the shit that MPD publicly releases that we see month to month is North America specifically. That's it. That's all we're getting from them for free, and it's limited too because they don't break down the actual game sales numbers and stuff like that. All right, but thanks for the
pay for when you pay for what was it this month? Last month they did say that they did give us. We don't get numbers, but they did give us what was the
percentages. They give us percentages.
What was the number selling games on each platform?
Yeah, they do shit like that. Yeah, but they don't give us the specific number of sales.
Now, I don't know if that was by a company asking. Not to release. I don't know.
Well, the reason is it's not by company asking. It's because MPD sells people these numbers. If you get it for free, then who's gonna buy them? Okay. Who's gonna pay MPD $50,000 to get specific track numbers when you could just go online, Google, and then boom, pull it up. That's why MPD is very secretive on that shit because it's the only way they'll be able to sell it. Spectre Status, another $2 super chat, man. Thank you for the support, brother. What would you think of The Last of Us 2 having a BR mode? I mean, I'll be honest. You could take that BR mode and apply it to any fucking game now at this point. because all it is taking a multiplayer and it's a survival. If The Last of Us 2 had a BR mode, the only thing we could ask for is it being unique, because that's the one thing I give The Last of Us 2. If I remember, outside of SOCOM, you know, and maybe Killzone 2, one of the most, in fact, on PlayStation 3, one of the most unique multiplayers that people actually enjoyed, that was talked about, was The Last of Us, because it was different. And I think that's the key. It has to be different, you know. So if Naughty Dog is going to implement a BR mode, it has to be The Last of Us way. It has to be something geared towards the way the Last of Us franchise is. And if they could pull it off, that shit could be huge. It could be PlayStation's big multiplayer game. That
it is
a
big multiplayer
game. You know, but it's not rival, you know, but it's not like Halo Gears level. You understand what I'm saying? It's not, it's their big multiplayer. It's just not on the level.
Pushing it for us, like, you know, the major pro league.
Yeah. You know, it's just not there. No one's trying to do a pro league Last of Us shit, you know?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I won't say. I mean, it takes skill to play any of those games, but maybe if they were to fine tune the new thing, then it would take all the lore away from the casuals that like if it is for what it is. You know what I mean? So that I would leave it as it is. You know, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You ain't gotta reinvent the wheel. Now, like I said, again, The Last of Us, which I got. Shout out to my brother Brian, bought me a copy. I'm going to install everything today. That was a huge success for them. You know what I mean? The multiplayer. Yeah, that was like, ooh, you know what I mean? This destroys Gears of War. Yeah, whatever the goddamn case would be. But that was big for them. You know what I mean? So,
someone asked the question, what does MPD mean? All right, so people can understand. MPD is a marketing research group that they even go be like for us gamers. We always look at it for the gaming side, but the truth is, these motherfuckers, they track how many cans of Goya beans are sold, how many Jordan sneakers are sold. Like, they track everything, right down to fucking toilet paper. They track everything, you know, because everybody in the consumer industry, they want to know how their product sells compared to competitors, what's the trend, stuff like that. So they track everything and anything, right down to the fucking number 2 pencil that you buy in a fucking stationery section. They track everything. Now, MPD is worldwide, but as far as gaming goes, we only get info for North America. Worldwide doesn't mean anything to us. In order to get worldwide numbers, for like Asia, we look at Media Create. I think that's what's called. And then for Europe is Chart Track. And then we try to combine all those numbers to give us an idea of how things are done worldwide. But as far as MPD, we only see North American info, and that's pretty much it. Yo, Z, you there? Yo, Z, did he pass out? Hello? Oh, shit. Did he have a diabetic coma attack? Oh, shit. Somebody get the insulin injection. Yo, all right, so let me let me carry on with the show. Oh, my man, somebody down 911. Yo, my man dying. Oh shit. My motherfucker play State of Decay 2 and he passing out. Oh shit. Yo, Z. Snake. Snake.
I had to get the door. I had to get the door for the kids for the food.
Oh, Snake.
Oh, Snake. Yeah, I'm here.
Yo, my motherfucker died.
I had the mic mute. I said I had to get the food for the kids for the door. My bad.
Yo, the motherfuckers dialing 911 and shit. You about to get the ambulance.
Hey, yo, you know he ain't healthy. God damn it.
God damn it.
Hey, yo, they blamed it on Puertorock. Puertorock came and killed Zaire with his propaganda and shit, yo. My bad.
Oh shit, my man had to get the defibrillator. Maya came out with the defibrillator. Daddy, don't go. Zip.
Stay out of the light.
Yo, she got the 2 PlayStation controllers. Here you go. We'll save you.
Oh, shit. No, but
motherfucker said that you saw the Sea of Thieves DLC trailer and passed the fuck out.
Yeah, that was the last straw. That's all I can stand. I can't stand no more, man.
Oh,
some Popeye shit. You know what I mean, but last thing I heard, she said was MPD.
Yeah, so I just explained to them. We know, I know, just pretty much to break down that MPD is more than just gaming. It's everything. Like motherfuckers track how many Goya beans you buy and shit, you know. But that's pretty much it. But let's keep it pushing. This Gears of War 5 shit.
Yep. I'm excited for. I mean, I think if it's true, it is true, more or less. It got ousted by Walmart in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. They ousted, or was it Rage 2? We just seen the trailer for that, you know what I mean? But like I said, this is dope. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. This is a lot better than just Crackdown and Forza. So again, you know what I mean? Like, this is much better. I know that Crackdown ain't never really been the answer. Like, you know what I mean? Jokers running hyping a Crackdown. Like, I've been here. Listen, let me say this, right?
Yo, hold up. My man Hayakawa, your wife says, yo, Zaire's selfish. He didn't even offer to his Xbox with him to the promised land where he became a pony. Motherfucker saying you Moses, but you didn't take the Jews with you. You said, fuck you, motherfucker. Stay in Egypt. I'm out.
I tried. No, I tried. Hey, bro, you hypes that would do these hour-long shows every goddamn day to tell you the Messiah is coming. You motherfuckers ain't listen. You do shit that much. Just look.
They didn't want to listen to the gospel.
It's like that was calling me crazy about these mid-gen refreshes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh shit, these motherfuckers. But yo, one thing I know you big on Gears of War multiplayer and you love that shit. But as far as the single player, right? I hope they bring back the 4-player or what was it? 4-player co-op. I think Gears of War 3 had 3 or 4. They have 4.
The last one was 4.
Yeah, the Gears of War 3 was 4, but then they went back to 2, and I was really disappointed in that.
I think it's because
that bothered the shit out of me.
To be honest with you, I think it's because the limitation of hardware, and that they wanted to push the visual fidelity.
Yeah, but that's crazy how you go from your last gen console stepping up, because Gears of War 1 started out, was it co-op? The first one, I can't remember. And then and then 2 was co-op, but then 3 they elevated the franchise to 4-player co-op, and that shit was dope. You understand what I'm saying? And then they went back to 2, and I'm like, what the fuck? Maybe
they already got the assets there, and they don't have to still start from scratch. So maybe they'll be able to add it on. You know what I mean? Well, check it out. That would be a good selling point for the X. You can do 4-player co-op on the X.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Garuda Legends, $10 super chat. He says, so MPD works for UK sales. If Xbox has top sales, it only counts in the USA. Okay, I don't see the logic. All right, Garuda. When you see those tweets about the UK sales, that is not MPD. That is chart track.
Yeah,
that's what I'm telling you. So when you go on Twitter and people be like, oh, look, top 10 games sold on Xbox in the UK, that's not MPD. That is chart track.
Yeah.
They're a totally different company. But thanks for the $10 super chat. But that's why I want to make sure you guys understand where you're getting your info from. All the top 10, top 20, top 40 UK sales, that is chart track. That is not MPD.
And in Japan has Media Create.
Yes, and Japan has Media Create. So when you see the top 10 games sold in Japan, that is not MPD either. That is Media Create. So you got to make sure you understand where you're getting your info from. When you see the top 10 games sold for MPD, they are only talking about
North America.
When you see the tweets, oh, look, the top 20 games sold in the UK, God of War won 3 weeks in a row. That is information you're getting from Chart Track, a totally different marketing tracking firm. Completely different.
Yeah, and when they say North America, they're talking about America and Canada.
Yeah, they're talking about North America. It's when MPD talks about North America, it's USA and Canada sales combined.
All right. They got a Halo 6 teaser trailer. A speech in the presentation 343 Studios. Halo 6 will be able to be played in Dave and Buster's. Fuck niggas. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not a big Halo guy, so I guess the Xbox guys that were waiting for a Halo. This will be dope for them. Most like it's teaser trailer probably won't get that until what's this next year? 2019.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So 2019. So hashtag save private lock. People might be hyped about this. We're gonna show what is this thing, right? So far, what we're saying, we got Xbox One X. They're gonna probably show some fancy stuff about that. Pretty graphic. Gears 5. Boom. I'm excited about that. The Gears. Then back to that, you got Halo 6. You got the 2 big hitters. Boom, boom, boom. People are gonna be excited about that. So far it starts off good. I've always said this: Microsoft comes out hard with their E-Pulse, with their E3s. They have they come out swinging, but they can't hold that momentum. You know what I mean? They just they got the Minecraft, and they're not gonna talk about that. They're gonna argue. Them motherfuckers gonna be arguing about everything. Well, they gotta show Minecraft. But listen, we see that every year. You got a pre-E3 showing. I understand this is business, but I'm just saying the diehard guys such as ourselves, I'm not taking off work to see about what's going on with Minecraft. They have what's called a Minecraft con, And I'm not even trying to be biased.
They do have a Minecon.
Listen, I try to say, so gaming is a very selfish hobby, and I'm removing what I feel. You know what I mean? I understand it's bigger than what I like, and you know what I mean. But I'm just saying, the hardcore guy. I've never been in a barbershop saying, man, I can't wait to, as far as the casual, I can't wait to go and check out E3. I've never heard that conversation. Never. You know what I mean? Never.
Let me address the super chat again. Guru the Legend. So MPD is worldwide and only in North America. Okay, fam. Time to drink and take a bump. All right, let me help you out, Garuda. Garuda, you my boy. And you know I preach the truth all the time. I'm going to say this again. Yes, MPD is a worldwide marketing firm. You are correct. But the information we gamers talk about when it comes to MPD, it's only about North America. We don't argue MPD sells in fucking Europe because we don't get that information. We don't argue or talk about or discuss MPD metrics in Asia because we don't get that information. So when people talk about MPD, we only talk about the information we're able to talk about, which is North America. I'm not arguing saying MPD is irrelevant worldwide. I'm not saying that. But if they don't tell us this is how many PlayStation games sold in Germany, then what the hell is to talk about? There's nothing to talk about because we don't get that information about MPD from other regions. It's not information we have privy to. And if we don't have privy to that information, then what am I, like, for example, how am I going to debate? Let's say if I was debating an Xbox guy, right? On sales in Europe, right? How can I use MPD to make my points if I don't have MPD European information? They don't exist because they don't release it. That's the point what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say MPD is irrelevant worldwide. It's irrelevant in the sense that we don't know. There's nothing for us to talk about. Like, what can we, like, how many games are sold based on MPD in Europe? We don't know because they don't release it. So then in terms of MPD in Europe and Asia, there's nothing to talk about because the information is now out there for us to talk about.
Yeah, made a track. They released it.
Yeah, like I could talk about Chart Track European sales because that's available. I could talk about Media Create Japanese sales because that's available. I can't talk about Europe and Asia. I don't know. They don't say anything. But when we talk about MPD, I could talk about saying, hey, PlayStation is the #1 selling console in North America according to MPD. Why? Because they actually release the information. We can only talk about stuff that's relevant to the information that we get. We don't get MPD worldwide information. We just don't. So in a sense, until we start getting that info, MPD is irrelevant worldwide because there's nothing for us to actually cling on to. That's the point what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, okay. I hope that answered it for you. I mean, I guess. I don't understand. What is he confused about? Like,
I don't know. I'm gonna say this: MPD is a worldwide conglomerate, and by what I mean by that is just how the company is formed. It's a worldwide conglomerate, and again, they talk about BMW sales. They have all this information that they track and whatever. All right, but in terms of us gaming, the only information we get from MPD is North America. Everything else is locked out. That's why nobody talks about MPD Japanese sales. No one talks about MPD European sales. No one even really talks about MPD South America sales. The information is not out there. It's not being pushed. So when it comes to specifically MPD, as far as us gamers, we only talk about the information that we're able to talk about, and that's North America. That's all we get. So that's all people are concerned about. They're not concerned about MPD at a worldwide level because there's no information that's given to us. That's all we're saying. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the confusion is. I don't know what the point of discussion my boy Garuda is. Garuda, can you clarify what you're trying to what's your ultimate point? I don't know what the ultimate point is. I'll be honest. I'm kind of lost on what the argument it is in the first place. Okay. I don't know where he's trying to. I mean, ultimately, what are you trying to say? Like, ultimately, what's the point? What you're trying to make? Like, I don't understand what the ultimate point is. I don't get it. I really don't get it. So anyway, what were you talking about? Back to Gears of War 5.
Okay. Maybe like I said, as far as like Gears of War 5, I'm excited for. Well, no, basically what I was saying is that they start off with these highs. And as far as they're showing, so far it looks like a good show. Plus, you have a fancy X trailer. Nice. Gears of War 5. I'm ecstatic for. Much rather have Gears of War 5 and Forza Horizon 4 than Crackdown and just Forza. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest with you. It's how you say if you look at Sony's what they got this holiday season, well, whatever what God of War, Spider-Man, Detroit, that's a better lineup. Gears 5, Forza Horizon 4, Crackdown 3 is the side chick, you know what I mean? Looks a little better. Not as diabetic as much. Sea of Thieves trash, State of Decay trash, but that's dope. So I'm starting off good. You know what I mean? Rock Band 4, I don't know what the fuck is going on there. Most likely I will have to buy it because Maya loves Michael Jackson. So if you see Next Gen with Michael Jackson and Rock Band, I have a child that is infected with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, we got another super chat. My man Guru Legends, thank you for the $5 super chat. He asked, is Xbox still made in China or is it made in America? All consoles are made in China.
Yeah, China, South America.
In South America too also. But yeah, it's a combination. I know, Xbox does have plants in Mexico, I think, right?
Yeah.
They have plants, so
they have a plant in Brazil.
Yeah, Brazil. They have a plant,
and I don't know. But maybe I don't know if it's still Mexico, but I know Brazil for sure.
Yeah, so I know China has an assembly plant. This is for Xbox, so they have an assembly plant in China. They have an assembly plant in Mexico. One in Brazil. A lot of components are made in Taiwan. Sony, the only one I know of is in China. They might have other places. I never really looked in because, to be honest, I really don't care what the fuck. I know at the end of the day, the shit's not made in America.
Yeah,
I know that much.
Ain't no console made in America.
Yeah, so I know that much. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't track too much on that one, but
being made and what's sold is two different things. Being made and what's sold, I don't know if that's where you're blurring the lines.
Yeah,
I mean, but it doesn't mean something can be made in France.
Even the term, because there's some American, I ain't gonna say American products. There's some products sold in America where they use the tag assembled in America.
Yeah.
All that means is the parts and the components are made somewhere else and they ship it separately, and then you got a dude just puts it together.
Yeah.
But he didn't create it from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? So that's a sneaky way of saying assembled in America. Like, okay. Cut it out, bro.
All right.
And it's probably not even a fucking actual dude. It's probably a machine that assembled it. So it's not even a fucking dude, an actual American worker. So it is what it is. That's beside the point.
Rock Band 4, Destiny 2, Ghost of. I don't know much about Destiny. Is this already out on the PlayStation?
Here's the thing. That's a good question. Why is it on the Microsoft stage when Sony still has the marketing rights? That's going to be interesting.
Is this already out? I don't think so. Any Destiny?
No. The one that's out is something. Fuck, I forgot what it's called. But a recent DLC came out. I haven't played it yet. Fuck, let me look it up. But there is but it's not that. It's not the Ghost of Nagasaki or Nagasaki.
Maybe the deal is up. I don't know. But we just forward thing. We all, like I said, the Halo. I mean, the Gears 5 and Halo 6 is probably, you know what I mean? It is what that looks about official. The Rock Band 4, I don't know who the hell still, I don't know about that, but Destiny 2, Ghost.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna cancel mid DLC. Like if with any company, let's say if you contract the game like Destiny 1, Destiny 2, and you have a contract with Destiny 2, then you're gonna have Destiny 2 throughout its whole life cycle. Now I could see Microsoft taking it over with Destiny 3 if that's up to the task. But I don't see Sony getting the marketing rights and the content whatever for Destiny, something Osiris, and then the one that's out, and then the third DLC it's over. That doesn't really make sense.
All right,
to have that type of thing.
All right, so
Warmind, that's the DLC that's out right now.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that one. One Punch Man is all it takes. Oh, Jesus Christ! Platinum Games making it, fuck nigga.
Well, if Platinum Games is making it, then you know what? That's a good thing because Platinum Games make good games, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
They make gameplay wise, So that we'll see how that is gameplay wise. Because Platinum Games, they got good gameplay.
I'm gonna call bullshit on this list right now. Sea of Thieves, the Turbulent Kraken DLC. The Kraken won't be lagging no more, fuck nigga. You know what I mean? The Kraken that's lagging. You know what I mean? They got this trailer, a Cronker crossover DLC trailer. I pray to God that this isn't the goddamn.
My man said the Turbulent Kraken, so that this is when they said, remember when Xbox 448? Yo, Z, they said they're gonna evolve.
Yeah, I ain't lying. Fuck me up with that one. Hey, listen.
Maybe this is the first step in the evolution of the Kraken.
Here's the thing, though. Some real shit. I love shout out to them guys, but I done heard some zingers from them dudes throughout the years between. Yeah, I doubled down on it. My man Mega, he done with his shit here. You know what I mean? Xbox, but what are they doing out there anyway? Taking pictures of the Kraken. Like, Jesus Christ. I didn't heard it all, man. Hey, yo,
what business you have jumping in the water?
Yeah, you know what I mean? You're supposed to enjoy the game. You stay on the boat. You're not supposed to hop in there. I didn't heard it all.
Didn't they say play how you want? So when people finally play how they want, they're complaining. No, you're not supposed to play that way. What business you have? What the fuck you doing swimming in the water anyway?
Yeah, that was shout out to them dudes. That shit was forever. That's legendary status right there. That's 4 Titans in the cloud right there. That's another one right there. Shout out to Pony Wolf.
I know, but but at least they supporting. I guess maybe they can make it better.
Oh man, and maybe the game may evolve. Maybe it may truly fully evolve. You know,
it might.
Yeah, but okay.
Conquer crossover DLC. So they're gonna put Conquer on Sea of Thieves.
Hey. Instead of checking chickens, you'll be checking squirrels. I don't fucking know.
Man.
This is adult. Listen, and maybe he say my media bias. You want to call me part of the media? My dog shit. To me, it's a dog shit game. You know what I mean? And let me say this one thing. I'm not even going to tangent. What makes it look so bad to me, and even you, Puertorock was calling the slaves to them, and I've never been sold on the game. Yeah. I at least gave it the benefit. I said, because I didn't really get PUBG until I played it, and I got the whole survival thing. I didn't get what the whole PUBG hype was about until I actually played, and that's I get it. And again, and then I booted up Sea of Thieves. I said, you know what? Maybe I got to play it to get it. That I didn't play it, I didn't got it. You know what I mean? But you didn't set sail and God damn it, you only played it for 47 minutes, and that'd be 47 minutes that I'd never get back in my life. Dog shit, trash. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say this, and again, and it's crazy. Puertorock, me and you had this conversation again, maybe 2 years ago or whatever. I've only been doing YouTube 2 years now.
2016. So almost.
I don't know when I came to you confessing my sins, and I said that they're not in a healthy place. You know what I mean? Whatever year that was. You know what I mean? For us game wise, you know what I mean? Because I want to say this too. I don't know people here watching, but again, shout out to you guys that are watching or just tuned in. You are taking part of history. This is going to be a new show that we're going to do every Sunday at 12 p.m. Next week it's going to be on Puertorock's channel. We're going to switch between us two, right? But before I get into character and I get to over the top, Uncle Teddy and all that stuff there. There's always he says is this because they don't ever attack what I'm saying because it's fact. You can't say men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. And when I say this, it's in a very unhealthy position as far as the game wise. And I was talking about this 2 years ago. Right now we all dying from diabetes on the Xbox. But again, Puertorock, I was talking about this maybe like 2 years ago. You know what I mean? So this is not nothing new. You know what I mean? And like I said, I would hate to say maybe it's not the context of my character, maybe it's the color of my skin, but this is not nothing new. I've been saying this stuff here. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're not in a healthy space. And wait to E3, wait to Gamescom, that's and then again, even you look at the show Inside Xbox, what they just had, horrid. I think they should just cancel that goddamn show altogether. It's trash. Doing more fucking harm than good. It's not a good. I don't think Microsoft know how to put on a good show. And again, and I've always said this too. They forgot what their demographic and what their core. Because Game and Blade, we're Xbox guys. We're not Sea of Thieves guys. Yeah, just be real. Let's be realistic. You know what I mean? That's not us. That's never been us. You know what I mean? So, but so I digress. You know what I mean? Crackdown 3. For those of you guys running around and saying Crackdown 3 is the second coming, most of you guys never even played Crackdown 1 and 2. I played them both. First one was cool, but I know that ain't the goddamn answer's way. You know what I mean? I don't think, and from what I've seen, much hasn't changed. You know what I mean? This is someone when they try to argue things you can't even argue. When I said to the game, when they told me, Z, wait to Comic-Con. Remember they should Z, wait to Comic-Con, right? Wait to Comic-Con. They showed Crackdown 3, and I said the game looked like shit. Graphically, I don't know what looked like trash, right? They argued me down and said, you know what? No, see, that's just the art style. Look fine to me. Then you got, what's that old girl named Shannon Lofton? So they held it back for the visual fidelity. So you understand where I'm going with this? You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Like some things you can argue. I think a lot of Xbox guys get these self-inflicted sexually transmitted disease or these L's because they try to argue shit that you can't even argue. Just come out and say, hey, it is what it is. There's room to improve and get better, whatever the case may be. But they go down with the shit. Like, listen, I thought the ponies was bad. I'll put those look them bots. They don't know. I'm on a new level. Woo! They on a new level. Them jokers dead. I ain't lying. They on Pluto somewhere with some of that shit. I'm like, damn. They gonna trickle down with it, man. I'm like, oh man, my God. But anyway, they got Crackdown 3. I think it's a no-brainer. I gotta call bullshit on this. They can tell about Red Dead Redemption 2. I think Sony has the
marketing. Sony has the marketing rights, so that's not gonna be on the Microsoft stage.
Yeah, so I gotta call bullshit on that. Xbox One X sales successful trailer probably sold whatever. Yeah, this guy here. Presentation.
Wait, hold on. Scroll back up. Presentation on improved vapor chamber cooling. That's what we're gonna talk about.
I call bullshit on this one because I don't see no Forza Horizon 4.
No.
You know what I mean. I call.
We're gonna talk about. So that's what we're gonna still talk more vapor chamber cooling. That's what we're gonna talk about. Yeah. So hold up. Presentation on improved. So that means you have to buy another One X.
Yeah.
Well, it's not gonna be on the old one.
Listen, they did say that
Or is it software? Is it like firmware? Improved?
I don't know, but they did say that they were coming out with themed consoles or colors, you know what I mean? You know, and again, to be fair, gamers do like, you know, I got a God of War. I already had a Pro, but I'm a huge God of War fan. You know what I mean?
So you traded, true, the hardcore.
Yeah, you know, so they, you know, and people like their, how you say, their.
Hold on. Presentation on new multi-threader cell processor.
I don't know.
Oh, hell.
Yeah. As I said, I want to skip all this shit here.
This dude, the cell is back.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Ubisoft, I don't know. Sony, The Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2 gameplay trailer, no-brainer. Bloodborne 2, you think we're going to get that next year?
I hope they announce it. I know From Software did that trailer. Remember that little sneak trailer? Yeah, like shadows. I forgot what was the little cryptic message.
Shadows die or whatever.
Shadows die twice or some bullshit like that. So they're doing something. We just don't know. You know, some people thought it was Tenchu. Some people thought it was Bloodborne. I'm going to say, if it's between Tenchu and Bloodborne, I'm going to say 80% chance that it's Bloodborne, 20% chance Tenchu. And the only reason why I say that is because we all know Bloodborne's a successful game. You know, in its own right. I mean, it's not Call of Duty successful, you know, but in its own right, it sold a lot. It made the company a lot of money. We don't know how a new Tenchu is going to react. You know, Tenchu hasn't been out in such a long time that we don't know. We don't know if Tenchu is going to be a popping game. We don't know how people are going to react. I know the hardcore, you know, like you and me, the old school gamers that played on PlayStation 1, we remember the game. But how relevant is that game now? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying Bloodborne seems like the safer bet because a lot of people are asking for a sequel. That's the sequel people are clamoring for. So go after the money. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes sense. So hopefully that I think that would be pretty big if they show Bloodborne 2.
What else? Okay, I lost it. Let me scroll up. Halo. Okay, all right. Bethesda, Starship, Rage 2. No. One Pitch, Avengers. You listen to. They were supposed to see some gameplay from the Avengers, which I'm excited for.
Oh hell yeah!
Square Enix game, which I'm really excited for.
Hell yeah! I'm excited. Yeah, especially the fact that they have a contract.
With Disney.
With Disney. So this is not just one game. This is and we don't know how many. Let me shout out Garuda for $2 super chat. He said the Chinese box 1L. Oh shit, these dudes are my man Garuda going in. But with the Avengers, the thing with Square Enix, this is the people don't understand. So Square Enix has a contract with Disney, whatever, to make Marvel games, and I think they said the first one is the Avengers.
Yeah, Crystal Dynamics is doing it.
And Crystal Dynamics, and I think in partnership with the one who did what's that fucking game? The Human Evolution, Deus Ex. So it's like a joint venture. Yeah, it's a joint venture between those two.
Well-produced game, and that's what I'm excited about.
But that's not just the first one. Remember, they said they have a contract with Marvel.
But listen.
So it could be more than just Avengers down the line.
But here's
maybe
the thing.
Thor, Hulk.
But here's the thing. I got to give you the bad side, the yin and the yang.
Okay.
Square Enix takes forever with the goddamn game. Forever. So this Avengers game that we saying we might not get that until next year. Yeah. And like they just look at the the Final Fantasy VII remake, and you know what I mean. They just take forever. They put out good games, you know what I mean, but they just take forever.
Yeah, these guys don't know how to prioritize, bro. They don't know the games that will actually bring in money and bring in popularity to their company. Like Final Fantasy Remake, that should have been the #1 priority after that initial reaction reveal. To bring it back in time, I think it was 2006 or 2005. Square Enix presented a demo of Final Fantasy if it was built from the ground up on the PlayStation 3. You know, to showcase the power of the PlayStation 3. Right? That's all it was. It was just take a game that's familiar on the PlayStation platform and let's show the power of PlayStation reimagined with an iconic franchise or an iconic game that's popular among PlayStation fans, right? So they show Final Fantasy. It went beyond that. People were like, oh shit, are you making this? Oh, this is day one. It became a life of its own. Now keep in mind, this is 2005, 2006. And here we are 12 years later. Tell me Square Enix did not miss the boat 12 years in the making of a game that they should have been working on for God knows who long. Yeah. The moment that reveal trailer, the moment they saw that reaction, they should have been like, oh shit, motherfuckers want this? Yo, put this shit on the #1 priority list. We remaking from the ground up Final Fantasy VII, and that shit's coming out. This is what we're doing. And they didn't do that, which boggles my mind.
Mm-hmm. So we got Days Gone. Bloodborne 2, okay, no brainer. Days Gone, of course, again, no brainer. Heavy Rain 2, Children of the Origami Killer.
I don't know where the fuck they got that from.
I would say maybe next generation, if they are going to do one, which probably they will.
I mean,
Spider-Man.
That's crazy.
No brainer, which is huge. Listen, I didn't even think about this. You say forward thinking, right? The forward thinking podcast. Fortnite exclusive PlayStation 4 content.
That shit, like I don't know. I don't know if it's true because again, Fortnite is so huge, it's across every platform, right?
Microsoft,
but if Sony found a way just to get like one map or something, that's gonna be huge for them. Which is crazy considering how big Fortnite is across every fucking device that's out there. Yeah. But if they found a way, oh shit.
Yeah, this is something that Microsoft, and you can say forward thinking. I didn't even think about this. Usually I think about everything as a business, and you know, if this, like I said, been at the phenom that Fortnite is right now, and they get some exclusive content, forget about it. This will take them well up into next generation, the generation after that. Yeah, you know, maybe if Fortnite can keep the level, you know, like going forward,
the momentum. Yeah,
you know what I mean. What else we got here?
Pro 2.0. What the fuck's that about?
You know what? I've been hearing things about the PS4 Pro 2.0, and like I said, I can say we're still dealing with, like I say, PlayStation 5. They were saying that Sony may come out with another Pro. I said a Pro, what better? You know, I guess I won't say complete with the X or whatever, but better graphics.
I don't think that's. Like even from a financial perspective, doesn't make sense. Why invest into another console when you're so close? Because that's you know, next generation is not that far off. Within 2 years,
I say 2020. But but what about
that's within 2 years? Within 2 years, we're gonna have a brand new next generation console. So why come out with a Pro in between this cycle?
And here's the thing, though. Maybe we may not get a 5. Maybe every 2-3 years we might just get beefier hardware, and our library comes along with us.
So you can still do that with a next generation console because remember it's all X. I mean, let's be honest. Well, the conversation of beefier hardware, next generation, that all went out the window with x86. All these consoles are x86 architecture. It's just how deep you want the next console to be. How powerful do you want the next console to be? If you're gonna do this incremental every 2-3 years, then the console's power can only go so far, so much. But if you envision an actual console, right, that you want to release that is significant in power, in performance, and hardware, then you're going to have to treat it as a next generation console and not just look at it as an incremental upgrade. Like if you want significant difference, it just can't be an incremental upgrade. Because let's look at the One X, right? No, One X is a very powerful console, the most powerful console of all time, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, it's just an incremental upgrade. You're not getting next generation performance. What we're looking for, we want next generation performance. We want games that can't run. You know, at a certain point, the first 2 years you're gonna get cross-gen games, but at a certain point, you want the umbilical cord cut off. You want the Pro cut off. You want the X cut off. You want all that bullshit. Like, get rid of all that shit.
Here's the thing, though, right? But you're saying the keyword with x86, right? And again, shout out to Gerudo Legends. I think it's flashed on my phone. Fortnite is free on PSN with no membership, just like Smite. You're absolutely right. Check this out, right? Look at it like this. And I've always gave this example how it was explained to me when I was told about these next generation consoles or these mid-gen refreshes. Just like and I gotta throw Black Bond under the bus. Before he started his little Patreon money, he upgraded his old ass 560 Ti's or whatever the hell he got. He was still able to play the same games that everyone else was playing. Even if you had a Titan, 4 Titans in the cloud, they would look worse and ran worse on those older cards. Now, being that these consoles are, again, like I said, like you just said, I'm sorry, moving x86, theoretically, they can still have the same library of games. You understand what I'm saying? They won't be as pretty as, because to be honest with you, even if we go into PlayStation 5, right? Not much is going to change. You know what I mean? I don't know if we're going to have 60 mandated, most likely. Assassin's Creed probably still is going to be 30, or it may give you an option, you know what I mean? But it's going to be prettier on the PlayStation 5. But, you know what I mean? And it's not going to look as good as on the Pro. And which will hear me out, right? The thing about it like this. Here's the pros, right? Of them doing this. No longer will we have to wait 2 to 3 years to get a God of War, right? We can get it done. We can get a God of War at launch, right? Because you already have that install base, which is ingenious for Sony. You already have that install base of 80 million plus that can potentially take advantage and buy your game. Because again, they don't make money off the hardware; they make money off the software. You know what I mean? Now, if it's done correctly without nickeling and diming us, and not worrying about who's pissed off, why I can't run on mine, and that shit that Microsoft came out and did, and they being afraid of their own goddamn shadow. I said, better be pissed off than pissed on. They argued me down about this. Gamers will complain if this. Look, they already bought their fucking console. They already have their goal is to get someone else's money. You know what I mean? Like, you got my money already. You know what I mean? So fuck what, you know what I mean? Be honest. You understand where I'm going with this? So forget, like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, you're still getting the game. Of course, it's not going to look as but. Well, I don't want things to be uneven. Like, that's just a crazy way of thinking, because not everyone that plays on PCs has an i790, this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? You get what you get in what you put in. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So I don't know if Sony would do this, but if they would, I mean, like I said, they looking at it as, you know what I mean? Again, all companies, even Nintendo, but Nintendo's probably in a unique space. They make their money on their hardware and their software. You know what I mean? Mario doesn't take $40 million to make $15,000. Bam! That's the Dow analogy. That's the Dow analogy. You know what I mean? But again, you think like this, we don't have to wait, 2-3 years in to get a Halo 6 or. So we can have it day one and still have that big back, you know what I mean? How you say, player pool or install base to take advantage to buy the software. You know what I mean?
So to your point about what you're saying, the PC community is not being totally honest with you. Well, I'm not going to use the word honest. They're not giving you the full picture. Okay. They're only giving you part of the picture, right? The difference between PC and consoles is they release hardware like GPUs and all that, like almost every 6 months to a year. Okay. So let's say within a generation, let's say like, a console generation, let's say a console generation is 6 years, right?
All right.
If they go on with the Pro, refresh, whatever, at best, you're only going to have 2 unique hardware in a 6-year gap. So you have the hardware that launched in the beginning, like that we'll use all right, we'll use Xbox One and PS4 as an example. So the generation started with the PS4, standard, vanilla, and Xbox One vanilla. Then 3 years into the cycle, they released the Pro and the X. And that will cap off the generation, right? So everything plays with everything within that generation, similar to PC. Everything plays with everything. Like if you got a 1080 Ti and I got a 1050, we're both playing the same games, all right? Yeah. But that's because that hardware group is all within that same generation. The only difference is on PC, they release more hardware. So if you look at it from a perspective of a GPU, PS4, let's consider it one type of GPU, the PS4 Pro, another type of GPU. So there's only 2 different GPUs within this whole generation in terms of consoles. Same thing for the Xbox One. You got the GPU that came with the OG Xbox, and then you got the GPU that's in the X. Only 2 GPUs. On the PC, shit, they're releasing GPUs every fucking year. So you'll have 7 or 8. So sure, the GPU that came out in 2013 can still run the game that comes out with the GPU in 2018, only is running the worst version. But that's all within the same gen. But there is a certain point, right, where even on PC, the minimum specs of the next generation game will not work on GPUs that you bought back in 2014-15. You put like Witcher 3. I guarantee the people who have the minimum specs for the Witcher 2, that hardware cannot run Witcher 3. Because the Witcher 3 minimum specs elevated because how they wanted to make the game, it needed a minimum level of performance to run this game. So you're always gonna get umbilical cord cut off. On console, it seems faster because we don't release a lot of hardware. On PC, they release shit tons of hardware to where if you buy a hardware in 2017, yeah, it's more powerful enough to run a game that comes out in 2019. But I guarantee the people who bought a PC in 2012, 2013 with the minimum specs to run games at a minimum that gen, them shits is useless now.
No, that's the thing. And what again, like, you know what I mean? Because if you look at when a game releases, whether say give me a game, give me goddamn Watch Dogs 3, whatever, right? You're gonna have the recommended specs, right? And DX12. Then you can probably tone that shit down to the Rec X9. If you look at the BIM, because again, not everyone has, you say these $12,000 PCs, G, right? And you look at the bare minimum specs, you know what I mean? Bro, we're talking about half a gig of RAM. I mean, shit hardware, you know what I mean? And again, because we are talking about a console in a closed environment, and shit, and like I said, even the PS4 and the base Xbox One outperform a lot of people's rigs. Just fair, you know what I mean? I know you don't get the piece of leaders on one side, but I'm just saying, I mean, at some giving point, you can cut it off. But I'm just saying, I'm not next generation. I'm sorry, for this generation to next generation, it's not going to be that big of a leap. It's not. You know what I mean? We got these mid-gen refreshes. They probably be twice as powerful as that. You know what I mean? Games. This is all you're gonna get. You're not gonna get bigger worlds. You're gonna get the same type of linear games. They're just gonna be prettier and shinier. That's it. You know what I mean? So theoretically speaking, like I said again, it won't be as pretty on the X1S or this, that, and the other. Maybe be not instead of it being 720p, maybe be 540p again, upscale to 1080 or whatever the case may be. You know, but it's going to be the same type of games. I'll give you an example. Look at from last generation to this generation, right? And maybe you can see where I'm going with this, right? One of the prettiest games that came out this generation, bro, was Rise of the Tomb Raider. Yeah. Pretty looking game, right? You agree with that? I can play Rise of the Tomb Raider on my 360. Another very pretty looking game, Forza Horizon 2. I can play that on hardware that came out in 2005. Yeah,
but I agree. But why? Because they made it for those platforms. We even said it. You even said it on yourself. That a lot of these cross-gen games are holding back. The games that we can play, and that's my concern. Because if let's say like God of War, I guarantee if they built God of War with PS3 in mind, it wouldn't be the same God of War we're playing now. If they took advantage of hardware PS3 don't have. The game was built with 5 gigs of RAM in mind. It was built with the GPU in mind. The same shit's gonna happen. Let's say if we buy the next Xbox, right? You buy the new most powerful console, the Xbox 69, and the motherfucker got 24 gigs of RAM, and Microsoft allocated 16 of it to fucking developers. If that game runs on the One X, then they built the game with 8 gigs in mind. They didn't build it with 16 gigs in mind. They didn't build it from the ground up because you can't.
Here's the thing. Now, and I'm gonna say this again. Now, and I don't think anything's being built from the ground up. Fuck what they talking about. You're already gonna have the assets in place, right? Same shit, bro. And again, you take, I'm sorry, whatever game is gonna be. Just give me a goddamn Bloodborne, whatever, right, or whoever. It's all this is gonna be at the end of the day. And again, and I'm just going about what's told to me for the route. I'm not saying what's right or what's wrong. I'm just saying in theory. I won't be mad either way. You know what I mean? Now, and I did say this, right? And to put this in context, not even be damage control, that last year, all that cross-gen development held back just because they were two different architectures. Power, one was the cell, other one was Power PC, IBM, but now everything's x86. You know what I mean? No one's coming out building, again, with the next GPUs that are come out with 1180s, whatever, or 13 T-flops. No one's building a goddamn game from the ground up with 13 T-flops. Listen, and again, I have a GTX 560 or whatever the hell. I'm going to be to play Skull and Bones whenever that comes out. Of course, it's going to look and run better on the GTX. But again, it's still the same. It's still apples and apples. It's not comparing against apples to grapes. They don't really have to go out of their way. They can just stretch it across. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
I'm gonna say this. If you know, because you know you got some good sources and they helped you out. If it's true what you're saying, let's say like if it's just graphics, then we no longer, as gamers, say we need new hardware to push gaming forward. When the fact is, the games that are being made are still tied to the older hardware we already have. The only difference that the new hardware is actually going to do is just make it look prettier. Because making a game look prettier doesn't push gaming forward. It's just aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? It's like getting a girlfriend who's good at getting makeup. That's not pushing relationship forward. You know, the thing that pushes forward is the meat and potatoes. You know, the game design, the gameplay, the bigger worlds, the better AIs, improve, refine gameplay mechanics. If all of that shit is still tied to the older hardware, the only thing we're gonna get is the same chick. The only difference is instead of bullshit Maybelline makeup, she now has MAC makeup. You know. That's it. So there's no longer really pushing gaming forward. It's just pushing gaming to look better.
And again, we are Puertorock. I'm not saying. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, but I'm just saying as a business standpoint, even as me being a gamer, I just don't, you know what I mean? And again, I say gaming is a very selfish hobby, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I always get the latest and greatest. But it's crazy as hell. We get along, but me and you are totally different opposites. You're fine with that. You got your PS4 in 2013, you fuck nigga.
With my Zenith TV?
Yeah, you still rocking and rolling. I didn't have my 4 Pro. You know what I mean? We listen, we are the contrary. One got a career, one motherfucker's living on his grandmother's couch, right? But I got champagne taste and bare money. Man, Puertorock got his shit together, stocks and bonds for 1OK. I'm motherfucking living in Hogan's Alley, right? Two different. We got both of us got one got his shit together.
This is definitely the odd. This is the fucking odd
couple. One motherfucker got his ducks in a row. Another
don't say couple, say odd dudes podcast.
Hey,
there
yo.
You go.
Hey, one is a washed up 40-year-old gangster trying to live in his heyday. Another one got his shit together, right? Totally two different lights of the goddamn spectrum, right? But again, like you said, I was listening on my channel. I implemented the slogan of gold chain gaming. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like for real, I got champagne taste and bare money. Now, but again, like I'm saying, like it's theoretically speaking, like I said, well, what was told to me? You know what I mean? People know some people. If you're expecting a big leap from what we have now, which, you know, listen, to be honest with you, real shit, right? The leap we got from the PS6, I'm sorry, the PS2 to the PS3 from the original Xbox to the 360, we won't see that leap for a very long time. This is the reason why, right? We're conditioned now to high definition.
Yeah,
we didn't. That was new from us going from the P. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit.
PS2 to play from
Xbox. Pretty games, don't get me wrong. You got a war, but I give you an example. I always like to say we get that old shit moment. Like to me, last generations when you know Gears of War, when I run up the steps with the goddamn chainsaw and all that stuff. That was like, you know what I mean? Something that we never seen that could be done before. Don't get me wrong. Games look pretty as shit, but we're kind of conditioned to that now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So for those that, of course, will games look better? Next generation, of course, even if we're still dealing with, we say, generations, right? I'm just saying, I can see when Sony's even kicking that around. You know what I mean? About their library being, because again, they don't make money on the hardware, right? Even Sony's changing their stance. Hear me out, this real shit here, right? This is basic business 101, right? Even Sony is changing their stance because Sony is a hardware company. This is what normally what paid the bills from. They go out, they create, they make things. Now, I will give Sony this. They are very innovative. Well, they have been over the years, pushing. You have Microsoft one end pushing technology forward, far as you know, online, this, that, and the other, making leaps and bounds on what the industry should be. And Sony's the same way on their hardware tech side, as far as Blu-ray and dragging by their teeth. Hey, this is better over here. The fact that Sony released a $1,000 MP3 player about 2 years ago. You know what I mean? This is like Blu-ray quality of music. The average Joes won't give a fuck. As long as I can play my CD and it's just the work, they're fine with that. So Sony's, it's like them and like I say, they're totally two different companies. But the way that Microsoft blazes as far as innovation, as far as technology, what we're doing online and always online, and I guarantee you that these next consoles come out always online, no one's going to have shit to say, really, because we've been conditioned already. Because so many games, some of the biggest games that we got this generation are always online. Fortnite one. PUBG is another. You know what I'm saying? We're already conditioned. We're already in. As I said,
I think it'll still be an issue because even as big as, let's say, like Fortnite, probably the biggest game, one of the biggest games on PlayStation, it's still not being played by half the PlayStation fan base. As big as any game is.
Okay, I'll give you an example. Pick one of the top 10 multiplats.
One of the top 10? I picked 2K. Yeah.
Okay. Right? You can't play that without online.
I know that. Well, you can play the single player story online.
Some parts are still on Xbox. If I'm not mistaken, some of that stuff is still locked behind the.
I understand. Like we'll use Destiny. In fact, Destiny is one of the biggest games. You absolutely no positive way could play that game offline. It is absolutely positively unable. That's the perfect example. Okay. Destiny is a key game that you have to play online. You need internet because it's absolutely useless. I agree with that. But Destiny is not played by the majority of the PlayStation family. No game is played by the majority. Not one game. You could say it's played by more PlayStation gamers. You understand what I'm saying? That's a true statement, right? But most PlayStation gamers aren't playing Destiny. Most PlayStation gamers, it's a variety of games. If you only release games that can only be played online, you are putting yourself at risk of cutting off fan bases that will not get your console, which in turn could damage games like God of War. You know, God of War could be in danger of low sales. You know, because there's a lot of multiplayer games that love Destiny, but they will not play God of War because it's a one and done game.
Okay, but listen,
you understand what I'm saying?
So you gotta. Right. Honestly, you know, I'm a God of War fanboy. If Kratos, forgive me for my sin. I don't want to sound blasphemous, right? But that really doesn't hold any weight. God of War was, you know, it's cool, but comparing God of War against games like Even Duty.
I'm not comparing them. I don't want. I'm not trying to make this an argument. I'm just talking about
first sales or whatever. Because again, this is going to serve a good. But I'm just saying about lightening the blow. Let me choose my words a little better then. Okay. You're going to have some people in the aisle saying, "Hey, I want my console offline. I live in Tibet and I'm in the woods." I get it. You're always going to have those few people, squirrels on the uncle's ranch, right? You're going to have those nuts out there, right? But the biggest, when I'm saying about us being conditioned, the biggest games that we're used to playing, or the biggest games of this generation, are always, look at Duty, right? It's a prime example. Duty is a phenom, a behemoth, multiplayer only. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is, I won't be surprised. Like I'm saying, what I'm just using as an example. You know what I mean? As far as, you know, Microsoft always online, and it's not. I am from the mindset. It's not what you say; it's how you say it. It's like when wife say, "You know, take out the trash, motherfucker stinks," and I got asthma. We're gonna sit here. We're gonna smell this shit. So everybody passed the fuck out from carbon monoxide poisoning. You know what I mean? It's not what you say; it's how you say it. Now, again, I say that to say this. You know what I mean? What I'm saying, was Microsoft again, or forever, like for us, like, you know, look at Xbox Live, right? Where Bill Gates himself was questioning the fact, should we do a broadband only? And the engineers we got to do this way. It's only for it to work, this, that, and the other. They came out, and I remember there were articles coming out because I was a beta tester the game before. They maybe should have went with what Sony did with AOL, and everyone has it, this, that, and the other. And then slowly everything, no one talks about dial-up anymore. That's no one, you know what I mean, talks about it. You know what I mean? It was they charging 50. No one, we've been conditioned. I'm not saying it was right or wrong, and that we have been conditioned. All I'm saying is now that if just say just by chance, if next generation consoles were always online or required an internet connection, I wouldn't be surprised. You probably won't really have that big public backlash that you had before. You know what I mean? Or for those, you know what I mean, whatever, grasping at straws, because we're always, especially now, the games that we play and like, you know what I mean, are always online. The biggest games of this generation, you know, have been always online. Ubisoft, and their games ain't been that goddamn great. They're always on, you know, whether the Watchdog, they require, you know, digital, we don't look into the whole digital rights management, this, that, and the other. But, you know what I mean, was that we're being conditioned that way. You know what I mean? Like I said, as far as Sony, what I'm saying, as far as them, they got their teeth kicked in for trying to push the Blu-ray and stuff. Well, you know, last generation, you know what I mean? This is the new standard, Blu-ray. And then again, it was like, you know, I forgot the numbers. I used to have them like one something on the community of the people who had high definition TV. It's not that way anymore. They don't even sell standard fucking television anymore. You can't buy a TV unless it's 720p or 1080p.
Look at it this way. I'll use another metric. All right. Okay. PlayStation sold 80 million consoles, right? But they have 32 million people playing for online. Okay. So there's 48 million consoles out there.
Online.
What? Okay. That's not 32 million that are paying to play multiplayer.
That doesn't mean that they again don't have online. They're paying.
No, but all the games you're mentioning, you know, the only game that is outside of that scope would be Fortnite because it's free. Okay. But Call of Duty, but the big games, you know, the other big games, the Maddens, NBA, Call of Duty, Destiny. Okay. You need a subscription plan to play all those big games, right?
Okay.
So there are more people who own PlayStations that cannot play Call of Duty, that does not have access to NBA 2K, that does not have access to Madden Online, that does not have access to Battlefield, that does not have access to Anthem or Red Dead Redemption or Grand Theft Auto, then there are people who do have that. And I'm just talking about access. Because at the end of the day, now I'm going to just hear me out. At the end of the day, if you pay for online, you can choose to play whatever big multiplayer game you want. Whether you do or not, that's your choice. But you have the ability to play it. If you don't pay for PSN Plus, you can't play Madden. You can't play. I don't care how many copies of the game you buy. You can't play it because you didn't pay for the service. So the factual information we have right now is more people are not paying a service to play these games than there are people who are to play these games. So I think that 48 million, or even, whatever, it's a huge number. It's not a dude in Tibet. It's not simply that. There is a huge fan base who buy PlayStations for other than online multiplayer, and they will have a problem.
Here's the thing, let me expand on what I'm saying. Okay. Just because they're not paying for PS Plus or whatever, I'll give you an example, right? I'm always online or whatever the case. I just got PSN Plus again. You know what I mean? But again, I'm talking to a person, you know what I mean, that I wouldn't have a problem with always online, right? But even the games like you say 2K, them not having being connected to the internet and them playing to play online, but they're still connected to the internet. This is what I'm saying. They're still them competing against other people. The multiplayer aspect of this is, I mean, okay, this is a given, you know what I mean? But still to be connected to the internet, you know what I mean? Or whatever content, DLCs, or whatever else they're getting to play the 2Ks, the Maddens, the Skull and Bones, the For Honors. They're still, I'm not talking about them actually going online and competing against other people. They're still connected to the internet, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
But you got to look at their mindset. You got to look, how important is online connectivity to a person who's not willing to get the most out of it? Because let's be honest, we could say whatever we want, but if you don't pay for PSN Plus or if you don't pay for Xbox Live Gold, you're not getting the most out of this online connectivity. To be honest, is indifferent. Right now, nobody has an issue with it because the way the system is now, you don't need the online activity. So any issues or whatever that you normally go through the internet is inconsequential, But if you create a platform where you absolutely need this internet to use a game console, that's when people start experiencing the problems of it. And that's when people be like, holy shit, so my internet is out or have issues or this, that, and third. I can't play fucking God of War because of fucking goddamn internet? What the fuck does God of War have to do with the internet? Right. That's
and listen, I'm not saying that you're right or wrong, but I'm saying I just gave me such as myself. I'm what you call the hardcore my finger. I just got PSN Plus again, not so long ago. When I signed my contract, that was part of my deal. You guys gave me Plus. You know what I mean? I just got it, and I'm connected to the goddamn internet. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. And even though they may have 30, and same thing with the Xbox. Even though they may have how many people on Xbox Live or that they're paying for gold or whatever, there's probably more just connected with their internet port via Wi-Fi or whatever. If they're using Netflix or whatever the fuck they're doing to the internet, that is not actually playing. Because some people, such as my uncle, right? Yeah. He's Xbox is plugged in, but he doesn't play any fucking multiplayer. Yeah, none. And I think he probably still plays for fucking gold every goddamn year. It comes out his debit card. He has never played a multiplayer goddamn game in his life. He thinks it's creepy. He doesn't want to talk. He wants to do a single player thing. You know what I mean? I'm just giving you. There are, like I said, even though they may have 30 million people that pay for the service, there's probably another 30 just plugged in for free. And I was one of those 30 million. Just plugged in for free, wasn't doing nothing. You know what I mean?
I just think with a console, people have an expectation of being able, and the main thing, a lot of people play console because of simplicity. And I think for a lot of people, they expect for the game just to work with minimal issues as much as possible. Okay. And I think an always online console adds to issues that people like, for example, especially on Sony, maintenance is down, unable to connect to PlayStation.
You're absolutely right.
And people will flip out like, why the fuck I can't connect to play Horizon Zero Dawn 2, which is a single player game, simply because your servers are down. What the fuck does one have to do with the other? And and people like, it makes sense if you log on to your Netflix and you'd be like, hey, there's a issue with Netflix servers. Please try again later. That makes sense because you understand Netflix is built that way.
Let me ask you a question.
Play a console, a single player game, that the two don't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense that because your servers are down, I can't play Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay.
What the fuck does one have to do with the other?
Okay, let me ask you a question. Look like this, right? And again, from both sides of the fence, right? Would you have like not you, but okay, let me say this then. The backlash that you had last generation, always online. When my uncle was in the tank, in the submarine, 40 liters down, and he can't play me in Halo. You're not going to have that same public backlash. I'm just saying if there was to be.
I think so.
No, I mean that's why I guess we'd be different to agree because.
Well, I don't think they're even going to attempt that. But they're not even going to attempt that. They're going to leave that shit alone.
I see that Sony's coming out with some new tech with the chain lock, change your games and online.
Well, the chain lock, what the chain lock is supposed to help, and fucking, it's actually, I know it sounds stupid, but from what I'm reading, it's supposed to help create a better system to game share. So now, like, it'll allow you to spread your licensing among more users. So it's actually improving game sharing rather than
whatever.
Always online console.
But again, even to that for game sharing, you're gonna need it online, right?
Oh yeah, but that's for the people who want it. For the people who the whole thing is accessibility. Right now, console gaming is still plug and play. You put on your console, connect it to the TV, and you throw in a game, and you're able to play it. Sure, the online elevated gaming, with DLC, being able to get patches, being able to have these multiplayer worlds. To me, is just. I don't see the argument with always online console because it doesn't add to anything. If anything, it just takes away from gamers. Like I talked about before, if Sony and Microsoft went to always online, what benefit do we actually get? I don't see the benefit. There's nothing there that we can get.
You got God of War, right?
Yeah.
Huge single player game, right?
Yeah.
When I got my goddamn game, it was a day one update for whatever reason. Now I don't know if my game wouldn't. I don't know like what that fixed inside the game. But as soon as I got the game, I had to update the program, the app. It's called applications on PlayStation.
He's even better. State of Decay. It had like a day 1 6 gig update. Right now, let me ask you this: Is that the benefit of always online, or because of always online, we're allowing developers to get away with releasing dog shit broken games day one? And because we have online, don't worry, we could fix it later. You have to look at it that too. It may not have been a benefit.
I look at the yin and yang. You know why?
It could go both ways. Some people could argue because of online, developers gotten lazier where they'll release a broken fucking game, but then they promise to fix it later.
Okay,
but we still pay $60.
I'm gonna get my Black Baron on right now. I'm gonna turn on my inner Black Baron. The only goddamn console games I know released without patches are Nintendo games because they've been doing the same goddamn two-step. From and they're not coloring outside the lines.
So let me say this. Say what you want. We like you said, we like what we like. But regardless if you like Zelda Breath of the Wild, whatever, it's a big game and it's built good. And it's built good gameplay. Sure, we may not like the fact it has no voice acting. But look, fucking Mass Effect has voice acting, and a lot of people think the game is dog shit.
Hey, but here's the thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Check it out. But Puertorock, but maybe if that game did have some voice acting, they would need a day one goddamn patch.
Okay. Maybe, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day,
I don't know what those patches entitled.
I think online, it's a gift and a curse. You got to admit. Like you say, yin and yang. On one end, we have games that could be fixed, improve performance. But on the other end, developers got lazier. Because simply, now I won't even say, well, let me rephrase that. It may not even be the developers. I think the publishers got pushier, because I'm pretty sure no developer, like you said,
game, Snake. Say it again. I'm sorry.
No. So like you said, these developers are artists. So I'm pretty sure they don't want to release a game that's dog shit because it's tied to their name. But if a publisher tells you, no, you're going to release the game on schedule, just create a patch to fix it, it's because the publisher only gives a fuck about the bottom line.
I got to call bullshit on that one. Let me ask you a question. Who's Sea of Thieves tied to? Isn't that tied to Red Name? And they still like dog shit goddamn game.
But guess what? Who do you think is pushing them to fucking release the game? It's Microsoft. Microsoft is probably one of the most pushiest publishers out there. Like after reading fucking Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, these motherfuckers went to Ensemble Studio, who was already mid-development of making a brand new IP RTS game for Xbox, and out of the blue, they came out and told them, and you have to base it on the universe, Halo universe, without even telling Bungie. Bungie didn't even knew fucking Microsoft made that call because Bungie, in their mind, that's their universe. They make the decision on everything, you know? So when you look at multiple pieces, you could probably understand why Bungie wanted to leave. Because Microsoft went to Ensemble Studio. They told them, oh, by the way, we're closing down your studios. So this is really the only game you're going to make for us. And when you do make it, it has to be based on Halo. Yo, motherfuckers quit that day. Motherfuckers like, fuck this, I'm out. They just walk up and left. They're like, fuck this company, fuck this publisher. You know, so Microsoft is a very pushy. Who knows? I mean, I know Rare, you know, some people say that this game is dog shit. I didn't play it. I just joke about it. But who knows what Rare, what support, or better put, what lack of support Rare got from Microsoft. We don't know what Microsoft, as in terms of the suits, what they told them they can or they can't do, how long they got, what they. But let me look at State of Decay 2. Let's use that. Do you really think Microsoft gave them the budget to make this game into the big phenom it should have been? I don't think so.
I think they give him that Bill Cosby pill. That Bill Cosby.
You see what I'm saying? And that's just a reality, you know. The publishers also put devs in the pressure, you know. Fucking in the book they talked about fucking fucking Dragon Age Inquisition, right? Fucking EA told them you have 2 years to release this game. These motherfuckers like, what? Oh, and by the way, you got to use fucking Frostbite engine, which has no RPG assets whatsoever. These motherfuckers like, the fuck is these dudes thinking? You know, normally a game like that would need 4 years.
Yeah, pretty much.
You have 2, motherfucker, because you gotta meet the target for our fiscal requirement. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Yeah, like, fuck is you doing, bro? You know, like, this is the one thing, man. And I know people would be like, oh, you jocking Sony shit. But Sean Layden said that as a publisher, when they greenlight a project, like, first, obviously, every project has to be greenlighted. You know, you have to get the seal of approval, right? But once Sony gives you the seal of approval to make this game, whether it's Santa Monica, Naughty Dog,
once they put that rock,
yeah, once they get that seal of approval saying we like it, make it, their job at that point is to remove obstacles from the developers in making that game. They don't keep going down, oh, we want you to do this, or you need to have this, or you need, no. What is your trouble? What issues are you having for making the game that you want, and what can we do to help you make it? That's their mindset. Once we say, yes, we like that game, their job is to help you make that game in terms of we need more money, or we need you to hire this, or fucking these people are holding us back, or these people ain't giving us the tools that we need. And Sony be like, oh, what happened? You're not being supported by this company? We'll talk to them. Hey, you signed on a deal for Havoc. They expected this product. You ain't delivering. Give us our developers this fucking deal that you signed on. You're going to give us, or we're going to sue your ass. Oh, okay. We'll give the developers what we promised. That's what Sony does. If a developer complains, hey, we made a deal with Simply Gone for these 3D tools and they didn't give it to us, the suits at Sony goes, all right, we're going to talk to Simply Gone. Hey, Microsoft, fucking Naughty Dog made a deal with you to get these assets. They say you ain't giving it to them. What the fuck? Oh, my bad. Here's the assets. Cool. That's what they do. They remove all the obstacles. They remove all the bullshit. Anything that's going to interfere with the game development, Sony's there to make sure that Naughty Dog, Santa Monica, Sony Bend, these motherfuckers, like Sony, like the people making Days Gone, right? Sony paid for a new building because the building they were in, they didn't have enough room for the increased staff. So Sony's like, fuck it, you need a new building? Here you go. If this is what it takes to make the best games you can, boom, new facility, new equipment, new shit. We paid money for Microsoft to get new tools. Here's Simply Gone. Here's whatever the fuck you want. Cool. That's what a publisher should do. What can we do to help you make the game that we greenlighted? If we agreed, yep, we like that game, make it. Now it's their job to push that effort to make the game the best it can be, not add more obstacles. Not, oh, no. Don't do that. Make it Halo. What? The fuck is you talking about? What? The fuck is you doing here? Like, don't do that. Like if Naughty Dog's like, hey, we're making the new Last of Us 2. No. Make the Last of Us kart racing. What? The fuck? The fuck are you telling us? You know, and I think that's a problem. Some of these suits want to be there. To me, they want to be game developers. You're not a fucking game developer. You're a dude that provides the budget. And if you greenlighted a project, fucking empower it, back it up, let these artists do what the fuck they do best. You understand what I'm saying? Don't hinder fucking the art behind it. You understand what I'm saying? Don't come up with bright ideas as a fucking corporate dude. because 9 times out of 10, your idea ain't a good idea because you're a fucking corporate dude. Yeah. That's just my fucking soapbox.
Okay. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're going over 2 hours and change here. Like again, this is the I don't know what's the name of the show. Is it Next Gen Rock Show? What we gonna call it?
Fucking call it the fucking Odd Brothers podcast.
The Odd Brothers. There you go. We are the Odd Brothers.
Yeah, because we 2 different worlds, bro.
Yeah, for real. One nigga got his shit together, another nigga some bare money.
My motherfucker knows the fucking industry. The other dude is a fucking nobody. Yeah, like, who the fuck is this Puerto Rican motherfucker?
Hey, yo,
we ain't giving you no leaks. Who the fuck is you?
9 bags of weed. Janine. But listen, again, if you guys enjoyed this show, thank you for rocking out.
Motherfuckers are laughing, the Odd Brothers. Hey, I like that. That shit's catchy.
Hey, yo, we need some art. So we need a official thumbnail, man. We need an official thumbnail for the show.
Make a fucking thing with my hairline and shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean. An official thumbnail for our show. You know what I mean. And but yeah, like I said, next Sunday, 12 o'clock, will be on this channel. We're gonna alternate, and like I said, bring on guests. We're gonna take it to the next level. You know what I mean. And the show, he said, the show will change and evolve like the Kraken,
like everything. Right now, the first episode is just the tentacles.
Yeah,
don't jump. What the fuck you doing jumping in the water?
Yeah. For real, man. For real. Don't be out there taking pictures, man. But like I said, again, shout out to everybody. Like I said, once again, thank you. Shout out to everybody in the chat. The usuals. I've seen some new guys in here. Again, like I said, this the first of many. And what do you have official date for your 60 Lag No podcast? I mean,
no, I'm still trying to flesh that out. Normally it's gonna be like on a Saturday. I'm thinking I might try to do it on a Saturday, or I might do it like, I might try to do it on Saturday, maybe even Friday. It depends. Right now I'm still trying to get because my job right now is still kind of dynamic in a sense. Like 1 minute, like I just came back from Quantico, Virginia. And like I might go, and they might have plans for me to go visit another country in about a week. So I was like, fuck, so I'm still trying to develop that, trying to get back to a more consistent schedule. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But like I said, before we go, also too, like I said, for this show, we might be, like I said, we just beginning. Like I said, let me do call-ins. We can start doing call-ins and stuff.
That would be nice. Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? I got the what do you call it?
We'll call it therapeutic sessions.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You guys can call in and stuff. You know what I mean, and rock out with us live on air. Like I said, we're gonna take it to this. This is the first of many. I'm gonna put some money behind it, and we're gonna try to grow out here at the platform. This is something, like I said, we've been something we was gonna do for a while, or something that without wanting to do. I don't think we coming out copying anybody. No, I've been talking about this. Well, Puertorock, you know what I mean. Yeah.
We've been talking about this one, and what threw a wrench in the curve for people to know was, I found out I was moving to Germany back in November. So that's how far back I started knowing. And then, so me and Z, we've been talking about this for like a minute. And I think we were close to it. But then the fucking whole Germany shit. And I was like, yo, we're going to have to put a halt on that because I got orders to Germany and I leave in March. So that's like a 6-month window right there in of itself that put a pause on this. But me and Z been talking about this for a good minute, and it's because of reactions. Like Z gets fucking DMs all the time. I get DMs all the time because there were a couple of times where just out of the blue, me and you, we do just us 2 podcasts, just fucking around and bullshit. Yeah. But people enjoy that. Yeah, people were like, yo, y'all need to do this consistently. And we're like, you know what? We're making it happen for y'all, man. Yeah. And we make it happen for y'all. Because I would say the one thing, me and Z, we understand this is entertainment. We understand you dudes out there. You enjoy the podcast, you listen. We understand you're taking up your time to listen to us. So we need to make it entertaining for you. Because if it's not entertaining, then why the fuck would you be here in the first place? Much, and me and Z get that. So that's what we're trying to do.
Yep. He voted for Trump. I voted for Hillary. It is, man. But again, thank you guys for rocking out with us live. I will be back with the therapeutic.
I'm a self-hating Latino. Deport myself and shit.
I'll be back around 7:73 with BGST, dealing with them, throw them fuck niggas under the bus. But thank you again for rocking out with us live. We different shows and stuff that I do during the week. If you have yet to subscribe, please subscribe. A lot of you, I'm gonna say this too. A lot of you guys say that you don't get notifications when I go live. All I can tell you is to hit the unsubscribe and resubscribe and hit the bell button. I spoke the curse, and they said this is what you should tell your viewers. But I didn't get a notification. I went live, but It is what it is. But again, thank you for rocking out. We appreciate the love and support, man. We out here.
All right.